Kramaric battling for the ball on the edge of the Japan penalty area. Japan managed to clear into the Croatian half, and there is Gvardiol. So Croatia have Kovacic in goal. Zlatko Dalic hasn't liked
Japan vs Croatia. Come on, Croatia. Kovacic. Hopefully you can see the quarterfinals.
And Josko Gvardiol, the two centre backs. Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic trips off the tongue. Kramaric, Perisic, and Bruno Petkovic is the centre forward who's not scored in his last 16 internationals for Croatia, but they're looking for a little bit more firepower up front. But four past Canada weren't able to score against Morocco or Belgium. Plenty of Croatian possession. We expected that. We're 1.5 minutes in on BBC Radio 5 Live. Peter Schmeichel for company. In this last 16 tie, Japan against Croatia. Japan chasing, working hard, forcing Croatia back into their own half. Is Lovren in his orange boots across to Gvardiol, under pressure from Doan, but easily worked out to the left-hand side. And Barisic is able to make a few yards inside left channel. Modric runs into a little bit of space. Four blue shirts suddenly swarm around him. Chance for Yoshida to clear. Down by the byline. Clearance takes a slight deflection. Here's Modric, 30 yards from goal. Kovacic ahead of him, just left the ball behind him. Japan will try and bring it out with Doan down the right-hand side. Croatia win it back.
This is what Croatia they have to do. They have to keep the ball. They have to make spaces for each other and just pass it around first time. Because as we can see here from the first 5 minutes, Japan, their intent to put pressure on every area of the pitch, and they're doing it quite well. But the few moments where Croatia's actually passed the ball around, created space for each other.
Trying to do that now with little Juranovic, Celtic's Juranovic on the right-hand side. Plays the ball wide. Here's Modric in that inside right channel. Loses out in the 50-50. Japan will try and counter. Ball is swung quickly across field to Junior Ito. Support on the outside from Doan. He tried to play a ball infield towards Maeda. It was blocked and it goes out for a Japan throw on the right.
We're all looking at Luka Modric to do something, to show himself for what we know he can do. But he's had the ball 3 times in this game so far. He's lost the ball every 3 times. And what was really good to see here was he lost the ball near the Japanese penalty box, and he sprinted back to defend. 37 years of age. He's still got that bit.
8th major tournament for Luka Modric. Tonight, 159th cap for his country. And of course, the standout performer at the last World Cup, even though Croatia lost that final. He was the winner of the golden ball at the end of the tournament. Tomiyasu launches a throw down the right-hand side, but no teammate on the same wavelength, so that goes straight behind for a goal kick. Japan 0, Croatia 0, 7 minutes played. This game live on BBC One this afternoon, so it's just gone 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK. If you're at work, then BBC Sounds app, a very good way to go if you can sneak it on the desk, plug the headphones in and have a listen to us. If you can get the pictures as well on BBC One, via the iPlayer, if you look for World Cup Extra and you want our commentary with the TV pictures, you can get Perisic onto a loose ball inside the Japanese pitch, a tight angle, blocked by Gondo, the ball's bouncing loose on the edge of the 6-yard box. Japan get enough bodies in the way.
How did Perisic not score that, though?
Important save.
How did you not score that?
From the Perisic shot, it was Tomiyasu who initially gave the ball away.
You had it on your right foot. It doesn't even matter what foot he is, because he can do everything with right and left.
And it was a mistake by Tomiyasu. He was trying to pass it back to his goalkeeper, but it was a really, really bad touch.
No, he's done it.
Perisic was presented with a...
If that's Mbappe, that's a goal. That's going in that top right.
He should have passed the ball back, should have grabbed it back.
Or even someone else, like Perisic. I would have thought that he would have had that.
Goalkeeper, and then it was a little bit of a scramble, and the goalkeeper ended up having the ball in his hand in the end.
Here's Kamada for Japan. Plays the ball wide to the left-hand side to Nagatomo. Nagatomo has Juranovic just backpedaling, looking for Maeda on the corner of the area. The pass is not good enough. Goes straight through to Livakovic. Peter was mentioning the save that Shuichi Gonda made in the win against Germany. I think Japan were leading. Were they leading at the time? No, they were 1 down, weren't they, Peter? And they would have gone 2 down. That's right.
And they were pushing, and they were hitting the post, and then he made 4 saves in 1 move, which for me has changed the fortunes of Japan. From that moment on, the whole game changed, the dynamics changed, and of course 5 minutes later they're 1-1, and then we all knew they scored again.
9 minutes gone first half, so first chance goes to Croatia. Ivan Perisic is on the run again. That ball over the top of the Japanese defence. Can't catch it. He stops his run and it bounces into the arms of the goalkeeper. Perisic, in terms of individual milestones, had he been able to stick that ball away, is on 9 goals in major tournaments for his country. That is level with the great Davor Schuker, who won the Golden Boot
Appreciate the vote on the poll.
France 98. 6 of his came in the World Cup. 5 of Perisic's have come in the World Cup, but he's got 4 in the Euros as well. So when he scores another one, if he scores another one, he becomes his country's record scorer in major tournaments. Ball back with Croatia's goalkeeper. Dominik Livakovic is all in green. Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah, that's an interesting duel, by the way. Tomiyasu up against Perisic. It's Arsenal against Tottenham. And so far, the Tottenham player has got the better. I wonder what that's going to do to Tomiyasu's confidence, having made a mistake like that so early in the game. And of course, it was saved by the goalkeeper. But is he going to be nervous? He's not played so much in this World Cup.
Yeah, two substitute appearances so far. Good point. This is his first start. He very nearly cost Japan early on. Ball is out for a Japan throw, halfway line on the left-hand side. Talking Arsenal fans, there was one who approached Peter in the media cafe ahead of the game and said, "Very nice to meet you, Peter, but I've never forgiven you for saving Dennis Bergkamp's penalty in the FA Cup semi-final in 1999. Now, if you had a penny, Peter, for every Arsenal fan that had ever said that to you, you'd be a very rich man."
Yes.
Great
Yeah,
save,
it's one of them, isn't it? But you know what? I go back to that game, and I know we can't talk too much about, but that is, of all the games I've played in my life, those 2 semi-finals are the most interesting ones.
Really? Header away on the edge of the Japanese penalty area from Taniguchi. Now, he went close to scoring at the start of this game. Japan try and bring the ball out with Morita, who plays his club football for Sporting in Portugal. Modric nearly threads one through for Kovacic. The ball comes back to Modric. Bouncing ball, he just cushions a pass out to the left. Barisic is going to swing an early cross into the box. Perisic somehow manages to control. Overhead kicks a pass towards Modric on the edge of the box. Now, this is where Japan will try and counter quickly from inside their own half. Play to the right to Junya Ito. Ito back to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu makes a short touch there, a crisp pass that'll make him feel a little bit better.
Obviously, they beat Germany and Spain.
Now Taniguchi. Taniguchi drives the diagonal ball out to the right-hand side. Here's Ito. Nice first touch, right on the halfway line, wide on the right under the nose of his manager. And Tomiyasu into Endo. Then Maeda comes deep with a little layoff. Doan sweeps the pass out low to his right-hand side. Ito, good ball!
Oh my days!
And it's cleared behind by Juranovic, who got clattered as he made the challenge. Is it going to be a corner, or is it going to be a free kick for the challenge on Juranovic? It might be.
We don't know what this referee is thinking. He's the guy who gave Ronaldo that Ronaldo that penalty that never was. So we don't know with this guy. I'm actually amazed that he's still in this World Cup. But there you go. But that was really a fantastic cross. It was low in between defenders and goalkeeper, and 2 Japanese players. He was stretching for it. Both of them missed it. I don't know what he's done here. I think he's given a free kick.
He has, I think. Well, unless it was goal kick, unless the last touch came off Nagatomo, who was attacking it on the left-hand side. I'm not sure, but
no, we're not sure about this.
No. 12 and a half minutes gone. First half, Japan, Croatia. First of 2 commentaries in the last 16 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds this afternoon. Brazil against South Korea to follow. Tomiyasu knocked off the ball by Perisic. So Tottenham beats Arsenal again in that challenge. Here's Modric. Crosses the halfway line. Plays wide to his right-hand side. Support comes from Brozovic in central midfield. Trying to play through the middle. Good interception from Endo. Endo sprints forward. Japan find Doan in the centre circle. And this time it's Petkovic who comes thundering back, the big centre forward, to win the ball. Knocks Doan over. No free kick. Clean challenge. And Kovacic is able to play a little 1-2 with Brozovic.
Yeah, the game is going. It's a little scrappy at the moment. And I think one of the reasons for that is that Croatia are not fully committed to attack. They keep 4 players back at the pitch at all times because they know if they lose a goal, they know how quickly that Japan can turn the game. So it's a bit cautious from Croatia, at least in the beginning of the game.
The 2 Japan wins against Germany and Spain were obviously coming from behind in those games, but in this game, been chances at either end. Japan could easily have scored twice. Perisic has gone close for Croatia. Croatia attacking down the right. Kramaric support from Juranovic. Play back to Modric. Little pass to his left finds Brozovic. Brozovic sees three blue
and he's only 20 years old.
Can only play
that's 15 years he could give us.
Barisic gets the ball back, swings a pass back to the halfway line. Lovren gives it straight back to Brozovic.
Players nowadays, in this generation, I don't see them hang up their boots
Japanese players
until they're at least like 35 or 36, whereas in the previous generation, bare man on average would get retired at like 31 or like 32.
Modric plays it back into his own half.
Japan, as soon as Croatia they've got the ball, Japan goes 5 at the back, and then Morita sits right in front of that and
Adrian Kovacic.
Run from Kramaric down the right-hand side. I think he's got enough to get there in time and keep this ball in play. Followed out there by Taniguchi. Cross comes in with his left foot. It's a deep one. Headed down by Ito. Important that Endo was there to clear on the half volley with his left foot. So Japan sitting inside their own half, and Croatia with Perisic turn and bring the ball back towards them. 15 minutes played. Japan 0. Croatia 0. Lovren sprints forward, looks for that ball over the top to Modric, takes it down on his chest, and the linesman waves his flag and says offside. That's all he says. And Modric doesn't agree. Modric shakes his head. Peter Schmeichel will have a look at us, look for us on the monitor.
I'm not sure. It looks like
he touched it onto his chest.
Very, very difficult ball. He's running with the ball. It's coming behind him, and he takes it. I think that's a mistake by the linesman. But it could, from his angle, could have looked like a handball.
Ito's ball back. I think that took a deflection. Yes, it did, which enabled Shuichi Gonda to scamper across his byline. Japanese goalkeeper, all in yellow, picked the ball up. And now Japan play out to the left with Taniguchi initially. High-driven ball across to the right. Ito traps it under the studs of his right boot. Doan is there, plays it back to Arsenal's Tomiyasu. Endo into midfield, quickly forward by Morita. Kamada, always dangerous, the Frankfurt man, bringing it forward. Support on the outside from Nagatomo. Nagatomo cuts back onto his right foot. Ball into the box, made a jump for it. Can't get a clean header on it. Barisic volleys it straight up in the air, and then Doan can't control it. It bounces off him, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Japan has put in a couple of very, very good, very dangerous crosses, and it's only a matter of time before somebody gets on the end of that. And they are quality that it only needs a touch.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel.
I think really
thank you everyone. The 190 subscribers already. 10 away from 200. Can we get that before the end of the year?
That's too many in a game of this magnitude, if you like.
Pekovic easily robbed on the halfway line. It's Peter Schmeichel with us on 5 Live this afternoon. Japan 0, Croatia 0. Taniguchi with the early header went very close for Japan. The centre forward in that attack. Maida very nearly converting the right wing cross. And then Doan is caught by Gvardiol. It's about 35 yards out. Central position, free kick Japan.
It amazes me that he's not getting a yellow card for that challenge. That was a bad challenge. And it gives Japan now an opportunity. Mind you, it's 40 yards from goal, but it's an opportunity. It's a set piece. It's a standard situation. And as we've seen before from this game, the first corner they work on this. This is an opportunity for Japan.
Yeah, I think with Japan at this World Cup, not to rule anything out. They have had a stunning tournament. Wins against Germany and Spain in the group stages.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel.
European scouts in the tournament trying to get through to the quarterfinals of the World Cup for the first time in their history. Kamada of Frankfurt is standing over the ball. Nagatomo's in front of him. They've worked something clever here. Cross is flicked into the penalty area. Gvardiol heads it away. Nagatomo leaps early there, climbs over the back of Modric. Both players fall over. Doan lobs the ball into the edge of the box, and eventually the assistant referee puts the flag up for an offside, and Croatia get a free kick.
Yeah, they tried to do something they worked on the training pitch. It didn't really work. It was quite clever the way they thought it out, but it was a short ball into someone.
If you are subscribed, appreciate the subscription.
Across the ball back into
appreciate
the box,
the views,
but the quality of that cross wasn't there.
109 subscribers on the
Croatia
channel.
nil. So Brazil, South Korea is our commentary at 7 o'clock this evening with Ian Dennis and Chris Sutton. 2 more last 16 games tomorrow. Morocco, Spain in full at 3 o'clock for you, and then Portugal, Switzerland, the last of the last 16 ties. That's a 7 o'clock commentary tomorrow on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds as Japan clear the ball up to the halfway line. Morita lobs it forward. Lovren is there and gets that past Juranovic wrong and goes straight up for a throw in to Japan. Nagatomo wants to take that quickly, so he shouts to the ball boy there to sling him a ball. Japan have the ball back in play, attacking the goal away to our right-hand side in this very distinctive Al Janoub Stadium. Pacey pass to Ito. Ito's got the pace to beat Barisic. Another great cross in. Livakovic this time.
Don't mind Ito, you know. They had an 84 team in the week. I swear he had like 89 players from 90 players.
So much pace, and he just ran past the player there across the goal. Again, it was low. So that's the third cross they crossed in low now. Was, you know, you have to think that's deliberate. That's something that they worked on and thought out that, you know, with this team, you got to cross it in low.
They're just looking for that touch, and the centre forward Dyson made it. Just 1 goal for his country. Doesn't score a boatload for Celtic, but that's what they're looking for. Gvardiol, good passer from the back. Juranovic controls it on the volley. First touch gets away from him. Here come Japan again. Inside their own half. Kamada looking for the run of Nagatomo. Nagatomo rather fortuitously gets that. Juranovic tried to clear it. It came off his right boot, and Japan still have it. And they're coming across to the right-hand side. Tomiyasu involved in this attack. Here's Ito again on the right. Crosses keep coming in. Higher one this time. That takes a deflection. Chested down inside the penalty area. Thumped away on the left foot by Barisic. Up towards Petkovic. Challenge from Yoshida. Gets the ball, but he comes in from behind.
I guarantee you that if Japan heard that interview from Donny, that would fire them up as well.
So far, Ito's been up against Barisic. The left back
Let's make it sound like they're just scrubs.
Obviously, he's Croatian, isn't it?
And it's
So,
not been
of course he does all
of
that.
starts for him. Ito
And I
has been
understand
running
why.
riots down the right-hand side, and he
I
was
know
stopped
he's been
this time
playing
by
the German
Barisic, so
film.
that I think
We
is
have
something
been
they need to
running
work a little bit on.
Yeah, it is a weakness, isn't it? I mean, watching the first, what have we seen? 21 minutes of this
But
game.
the thing is, Japan's a good
Sosa
unit.
there with Barisic in their first start in this World Cup. I
I'm
think he's the older
from
man,
what
not
I'm
as quick
seeing.
as Sosa.
Very
Japan
stand-up player. Everyone kind of just
an opportunity
knows their role, isn't it?
there.
And they're
Is
just playing
Yoshida
for
in light
I think
blue boots.
they're working on both fullbacks.
Like even so far in the tournament,
not
like,
been able to stop the
they've
crosses
done
from
well.
coming in.
Yeah.
And
Obviously
they both
beating
look a little bit slow,
Germany, beat Japan,
compared to the
I mean,
Japanese players.
beat Spain.
Japan seeing quite a lot of the ball in this first half. The rhythmic drum beat from the Japanese fans away to our left has stopped. Gonda, the goalkeeper, plays out to his left. Morita, pass back to Yoshida. Yoshida plays through the lines up towards Doan. Gvardiol saw that coming. Ran through Doan to win the ball. Took a knock as he did so. He stayed down, so Croatia knocked the ball out of play so he can receive treatment.
That was actually quite well worked by Japan. It was a ball from one of the centre halves up to Ito, but that it was read by.
Guardiola went down. Hope he isn't
Guardiola,
seriously
and-
hurt still.
And we
That's bad
see why
news.
people are raving
No,
about
it's not. It's
him
nothing that deep.
as
It's
the
not that
future
deep.
big defender that
slaps.
every big club in the world would be looking at. It was a good start. He hurt himself.
Got a little bit left in the
That's
toe as
right.
well.
Oh, cool.
But that's what they
That's
need
not
to
that
do.
fun.
It's not. So Croatia so far has kept all of their defenders back.
That's why I
They've
see.
not come
I will
up
read
and
them
stop
cups,
those
man.
crosses. Oh, sorry, those
Bro,
balls
I
coming
haven't
from
got the
defence.
time.
And that is giving Japan a little bit of joy.
Because you know these footballers, man, these lot be coming to tackle you anyhow, like, and there's bodies just everywhere.
Create the crosses. This
There's
is
no
something
time
they
for
need
that.
to do more. Stop them from midfield.
Japan give the ball back from the throw. In fact, Croatia have a free kick 10-15 yards inside the Japan half. Not sure why that. I mean,
Amazing. He didn't give it, Perisic put the ball out.
Yeah.
He didn't give a free kick.
that's strange. What's going on?
Yeah, he's got different rules to what we know.
Referee's now bringing it back because where Doan accidentally caught Gvardiol was nowhere near where this free kick's being taken from anyway.
Man,
So
just robbed them kind of.
slightly confusing.
They score from
Thought they were
this.
going to give the ball back to
That's
Croatia.
a
Now
wrong.
they've got a set piece to defend, although this free kick is coming from deep because it's only
But look where he
10 yards
found him.
inside the
And look at the
Japan
ball.
half. Japan 0, Croatia 0. Modric just tucks the hair behind the ears, whips it in with his right foot. Dive header away, and a strike from Guardiola from the edge of the box, gets underneath it. He very nearly puts it up in the second tier of this Al Janoub Stadium goal kick for Japan.
Yeah, he was up there too at the end of that free kick. And it turned out the ball didn't go his way, but it came to his left foot, and he was totally out of balance, and I don't think the ball's been down yet.
Quite surprising to learn, Guardiola's nickname is Little Pep. Here is Yoshida to his right to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu launches it forward. Maida wins the header. Doan won't catch that. All the way through to Livakovic, who's got the ball at his feet, the Croatian goalkeeper. Incredible win in the first test in Rawalpindi for England's cricketers earlier on today. Test match special.
Subscriber, appreciate the subscription, man. Nothing support. Make sure to vote on the poll as well. Who you think will win? It's 0-0 right now.
I can assure you, Peter, it was a stunning win. England won it by 74 runs, and the next test will start on Friday by full commentary on.
You know, I mean no disrespect, but to sit and watch something that goes on forever for 5 days, you know, and then it's a draw.
Yeah,
it's an agreed draw.
Yeah,
it kind of
It was a thrilling finish as the sun was coming down. And here's a ball through, and I tell you what, that might make its way through to Pekovic. And here's a chance for Croatia, trying to get it back onto his right foot. Can't find Perisic. Croatia wasted chance. Almost came out another.
You think Ronaldo's going to be there?
Japan was snoozing. Pekovic was in. And Croatia, they did stick 4 past Canada in this tournament. But again, that just sort of shows you that the lack
Saudi
of
Arabia. His wife staying here with the
talking about
kids.
wasting opportunities there. First of all, he looks a little bit slow, and I can
Go Saudi
understand.
Arabia. Go and
He
enjoy
was
it.
inside the
Come
box
back
when
on
he
holidays,
received the
man.
ball on the left-hand side.
I'm saying warm weather.
Have a shot. But what he did, he stopped the ball,
30
and then he's
years,
trying to be clever, put the ball
That's
through
a
the legs of
200
the
million
defender.
30 years.
Stop. And he had 2 other options. He
Max
could
out
roll them
islands
back.
before you
You
retire.
gotta take I mean, we're at a stage in the tournament where it's important to take every opportunity, exploit every little bit of weakness that your opponents are giving you. You already seen 2 mistakes, if you like, from the Japanese
Plus,
defense,
other endorsements.
and they've been nowhere near scoring.
No, Croatia's 2 chances in the game have come from Japanese mistakes. Japan have been more threatening and causing more trouble down the end away to our right. That's the end there attacking left back Nagatomo.
His
Plays back to
family.
the goalkeeper Shuichi Gonda clears it his right.
That's 10
foot.
generations.
Beaten in the air by Guardiola. Here is Kovacic speeds
Man's
the ball
literally a
from
millionaire.
the outside of his right boot forward to Perisic. Back with Perisic to Guardiola. And
I don't know what was that.
Across to Dejan Lovren, hugely
He's got
experienced
nothing.
international footballer, winning his 76th cap for Croatia this evening. It's been a good partnership for Croatia. Just 4 goals conceded in qualifying.
That's
Just
what
1
he
goal
deserves.
conceded out this tournament so far, which was the Alphonso Davies header against Canada. And now here's their little magic man Modric. Lovely turn, plays the ball into Brozovic, charging forward down the right, pokes it back to Kovacic. Kovacic in the centre circle inside the Japanese half. Low to his left finds Perisic. Perisic runs towards him, lets the ball go through his legs. Not collected the other side. Here's Doan battling for the ball for Japan. Bobbling pass forward, easily dealt with by Guardiola into the feet of Brozovic. Modric just drops deeper. There's that trademark pass with the outside of the right boot. Wonderful ball. Perisic catches it, crosses it on the bounce. It's just over the head of the 2 players inside the penalty area. Juranovic with another cross into the far post. That's beyond Pekovic as well. Chance for another cross though for Croatia. Barisic takes 1 touch. Right out by the touchline on the left. Flicked it to the far post. Very nearly stuck in by Kramaric. And it could be another cross coming in right away. No, Juranovic goes deep to Modric.
Another
Here comes
cross.
that next cross. Far post. Perisic attacks it. Japan deal with it. Volleyed away. And it'll eventually go out for a Croatian try.
And it all came from a fantastic outside of the foot pass from Modric. It had a little bit too much pace on it for Perisic to sort of control it. So his cross wasn't great. It went all the way past the goal, and then the cross came back in. What a chance. It was flicked on. What a chance. It could have been 1-0 Croatia.
He's the master, isn't he, Peter, this fella, Modric, of that pass in particular, that outside of the boot.
He's been very quiet. I think all the way throughout this World Cup, he's been very quiet. And all in this game as well. But when he's on the ball, something happens.
Pekovic, the centre forward, has it on the left. Yoshida is backing off, plays back to Perisic. Perisic takes a touch. Doan is back there helping out for Japan. Croatia take it back down the left-hand touchline. Brozovic looking for the run of Modric. Tomiyasu has it covered, heads it away. And Croatia will let that ball run out of play for a throw-in. So 28 minutes gone in the first half, and we are still goalless. Japan 0, Croatia 0. But there have certainly been chances for both teams in this last 16 tie. Netherlands, Argentina, England, France. The 4 teams already through to those quarterfinals. Quarterfinals will start on Friday. England's game against France, 7 o'clock on Sunday night. Perisic long throw into the penalty area. Yoshida heads it away. Doesn't get much distance on it. The ball is dropping on the edge of the box. Barisic nods it forward. Little flick on here. Important from Nagatomo to read that and volley it away. The ball won't come down at the moment. Eventually Kovacic gets it back to Juranovic. Here's Modric. 40 yards out, central position. That's another little impetuous flick with the outside of the right boot to find a teammate. But Japan have clipped all made has played it behind Kamada. Croatia have it again.
It's a great weapon they have in Paris. It's just long throws. They're so difficult to defend because they come in but with no pace. So you know, on a cross, you use the pace of the ball to get it away. But it comes in at the throw-in.
Great ball from Endo down the left-hand side. Chance for Japan. It's Kamada on the left. Maeda makes the run in the middle. Nagatomo is up in support. Kamada was caught. He's down hurt. Attack continues. Could be another cross coming into the Croatian penalty area. Nagatomo sort of runs into a dead end there, and then
he didn't know what to do for me. He was just like,
Kamada's appealing and saying, well, shouldn't we have had a free kick to our referee, Ismail El Faf?
Yeah, he stayed down as well, as if he was hurt, and that was kind of the problem, that he was not there as a station, so they lost the ball. Lovren did quite well. He's been a little bit exposed there on the right-hand side, because the right back, Juranovic, is, I don't think he's having a particularly good game. He's kind of in between positions, don't know how to deal with the way the Japanese players are playing at the moment.
Familiar voice of Peter Schmeichel with us on 5 Live Sport. If you're on the move, take the World Cup with you, available via the BBC Sounds app. That's where you'll find the World Cup Daily podcast every single day. The best reaction, debate and analysis to everything that's going on over here in Qatar. Here's Kovacic. There's Brozovic, not the kindest ball back, but Kovacic's touch was sure and speedy. And
it's
now
funny
Modric,
because
so the midfield three, all within about
Croatia and
10
Chelsea
yards
don't
of each
play
other.
that
Modric almost lost it
different.
there to Kamada for a second.
Croatia and Chelsea don't play necessarily that different.
Kovacic on the ball. Turned around the corner by Perisic. Yoshida reads it, puts a right foot on it, clears
controlling
it,
the game.
heads it down the right hand
They're
side.
always trying to create
there.
through the wings.
Decides to turn back and come back
Never
to
really
Modric.
through the centre
Modric
that
leans
much.
into that pass and plays it to Perisic. Perisic now over on the right hand side, just for the time being with this attack.
Croatia does the same thing
Kovacic
here.
plays to Brozovic, across to Modric.
Except that Chelsea gets more wrong to
Japanese half
probably
stops for
more.
a second, assesses the field of play, goes low to his right to Juranovic, and now Perisic pops up wide on the right, can't get the pass back to Juranovic, and Japan are able to play out. 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Japan 0, Croatia 0.
And it's not really a great game, to be honest. It's very much.
I mean, bro, I've sat through, fam, there's been more boring games than this. Like, England USA, that was dry. This game ain't even that dead compared to that. Like, it's not the best game, of course, but
apart from that, it's very much just passing the ball around at the moment.
yeah, no.
Japan's got it in their own half. They're not going anywhere, just passing it between two players and slowly progressing.
Said it before the game, Croatia's 3 knockout games 4 years ago in Russia all went to extra time. Won 2 of them on penalties. One of those against Denmark. Quarterfinals, beat Russia. Penalties, then beat England after extra time in the semi-final. So they're a team that are well used to going the distance. Here's Marita. Not much pace on that pass to get it out to Nagatomo on the left-hand side. Doan's just made a little run into the edge of the box, but Japan come back into central midfield.
It's mad
That's
because
Endo. Now across.
you can't say he's the best centre midfielder in the world.
Tomiyasu. Here's Ito.
But
Back to Tomiyasu again.
he could definitely be the best at his age. He's definitely the best at his age.
Hold on to
One of
that.
the best young in
Loses a little bit of momentum. Curling pass over the top looks good. Doan tries to
Oh
chest
my
it down,
days.
does so, gives it to Kamada. Kamada dances his way past the
Should use your left foot, fam. Can't use your left foot.
Win the ball. Here's Taniguchi. Endo across to Morita. 10 yards inside the Croatian half. Croatians lined up, defensive organisation in front of Japan. They're just passing it around in front of Croatia at the moment. Now Endo looking to do something a little more purposeful.
Oh my days, he missed it.
Tried to lay it off to him. Couldn't
Oh
quite find
my
him around
days,
it,
Japan
so
could have
cleared
been
his
in.
right foot.
Oh, that touch
Should
by
have
the end
been.
of that. He didn't know how free he was. He should have not have touched it, just let it run past him, and he would have had a clear shot. But he's trying to pass it back. It was. I'm just looking at Lovren. He's played all right. As I said before, it's a little bit exposed. It's like he don't know where to be. That movement, that little bit of movement that Japan is doing, he's kind of in between all the time. And I don't know what their tactics has been here and how they prepared themselves, but it looks like him and Guardiola, they're not in sync.
This is Guardiola on the ball. Kovacic turns a pass around the corner to Brozovic, intercepted by Japan. Strong's to come on the counter. Doan is chased back by Barisic. Turns inside Barisic, brings it in from the right, looking for that pass to Kamada. Chests it down on the edge of the box. Guardiola is strong. Wins the header. Lovren, his centre-back partner, is there. Tomiyasu reads the clearance. Chests it down. Morita tries to bring it forward. Good challenge on him by Kovacic. And suddenly Guardiola is striding forward from defence. Pings the pass hard at Kramaric. Can't control it. Japan have it.
Yeah, that was an opportunity wasted there. Guardiola got the ball, pacey, running forward, and he absolutely didn't think he smashed the ball to Kramaric, who I thought was running the wrong way. He should have opened up instead. He was running towards him, but that was an opportunity to counter Japan.
10 minutes remaining in the first half. Stadium definitely fuller than it was at the start of the game. Feels almost packed now inside the Al Janoub here. Still Japan 0, Croatia 0, and we're still waiting. There have been chances, as Peter Schmeichel's been saying, good chances as well, but in terms of a sort of free-flowing game of football, we're not quite seeing that.
I won't say there were chances, there were opportunities that could have been dealt with better, you know.
Right.
The crosses that Japan's put in, the strikers were still a little bit off. There weren't, no one was sort of clear-cut chances or ended up in clear-cut chances.
I appreciate the view on the poll.
The gift that Perisic had from Tomiyasu early on, that was a chance. And of course that cross, that was just saved nearly on the line.
Morita's ball.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah, looking for Doan on the right. Doan jumps in to win it back for Japan quickly.
Japan.
A low pass to his left. Nagatomo is there in support. Morita on the turn. Finds Endo. Endo about 45 yards from the Croatian goal. In the inside right channel. Ito misplaces his pass. Kovacic intercepts. Ito tries to make amends, but can't win it back. Ball bounces loose. Little flick from Doan is nice to Kamada. Kamada looks for support. Ito's got speed. Thinks about going on the outside. Dummies Kovacic, turns away from him. Tomiyasu here to Endo across to Morita. And Morita just with the outside of his right foot prompts Nagatomo to make a run. Nagatomo decides against the cross. Maida's just walking into position at the moment in that Croatian penalty area. Japan come back to the halfway line. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. 5 live. And BBC Sounds, Japan 0, Croatia 0 in this last 16 times World Cup, which of course being knockout football could mean extra time for the first time at this World Cup, could mean penalties as well. Here's Morita. 15 yards inside the Croatian half in a central position, walking pace again to Taniguchi, rolls it forward to Kamada. Kamada wide to Nagatomo. Noise levels go up as Nagatomo gets on the ball. Little step over to try and dummy Juranovic, then swings a high cross in, but he's not got it right. It's gone straight behind for a goal kick to Croatia.
First back cross from Japan today. This is, I think, is Japan's problem when they have possession like they've just had now for a couple of minutes.
Tuesday, I got a Japan hero last night, isn't it?
A bit of magic that opens up a relatively Croatian defense.
No, you saw it. I'm saying it's fun now. I'm watching Japan.
If Croatia had the ball and they were closer to the Japanese goal, and then they would get the ball in counter. That hasn't happened yet. Croatia are very cautious. They're still keeping players back. They've only one Japanese player up, and at all times, their 4 players behind the ball. So clearly the respect for Japan of what they can do, what they showed against Germany and Spain, is in the Croatian tactics.
If you are listening to us back in the UK this afternoon, wherever you might be listening to us, and you want to take a little break at half time, make sure you don't miss the start of the second half, because Japan absolutely renowned in this tournament for the manager making a couple of changes, and it has an immediate impact. So you would be unwise to miss it. Although when you smart speakers, I know during this tournament, you can actually ask BBC Sounds to rewind some of the action. So if you miss 5 minutes, just ask BBC Sounds.
Come tomorrow. I know I'm
back.
getting some FIFA points.
So there you go. 6 minutes left in this first half. We're still Japan 0, Croatia 0.
Yeah, it's true.
Cagey and cautious so far. Modric with the free kick into the Japanese penalty area. Doan tries to clear the bouncing ball with his left foot. It's half blocked. This might run to Ito, who's popped up on the left-hand side.
Ito doing his thing.
Ito gets his head up, looks for the run of Maida. That's a good run as well. Juranovic with him into the penalty area. 3 blue shirts in support behind him. Cross comes in from that left-hand side, half cleared. Maida will chase that loose ball. So will Morita, and Morita gets there first. He's right out by the corner flag on the left.
Hey,
so well to get
ref, oh my days.
Well. Under pressure from Modric.
Japan, you know.
Endo, working it onto his
Hey, Japan! Japan! Oh! Oh!
They did so well.
Bro, they've been playing hard this whole game.
Oh no, that was
They've been playing hard.
So nice.
Oh my days.
It was a really, really good counter-attack. The first time we've seen that today from Japan. And it was stopped by, of all players, Luka Modric, 37 years of age. He was the guy at the far back who actually stopped it. But then a little bit of brilliance on the left-hand side created that opportunity. It was a one-on-one from an angle, I have to say, against the goalkeeper. But the ball was quite a fair bit over the goal.
Yeah, it was. Throw in now for Croatia, deep in their left-back position. They've won another one on the left-hand side.
Interesting match.
The Japanese fans away to our left. The drums have got going again. Lots of them with the white headbands on. They've been so intense and passionate and emotional at this tournament. You can only imagine if they do make it through to the quarterfinals for the first time in their history. I think the tears are going to start flowing again. Only 2 teams
at
from the Asian Confederation in the history of the World Cup have actually made it through to the quarterfinals. North Korea back in 1966, South Korea when they were co-hosts in 2002. So again, it would be a massive step, not just for Japan, but again for Asian football if they can make it through. And of course, South Korea have the chance later on this evening.
And I think that plays into how they play. That plays into this cautiousness that this could actually happen at this close. They have all the confidence. They've already beaten Germany and Spain. So why not also beat Croatia?
Diagonal ball from Morita, fizz to Ito. Ito tried to find the run of Doan. It's come back to Tomiyasu. Doan is free on the right, curls across him with his left foot. Livakovic comes! Miscommunication. The ball's headed away by Juranovic for a corner. Livakovic behind him. If Juranovic gets
this
that wrong, he's
good
going to
game.
head into his own net.
Yeah,
this is a good game.
That was unnecessary. He's given a corner away, Juranovic. I don't think he's played a good first half. I think he's under pressure. He's been under pressure. He's not been able to find the right position. How can he stop the crosses coming in from the left-hand side? And on this occasion, Livakovic, he could easily have caught that ball, and I couldn't hear him, but I could see that he was screaming.
He's smiling, you know.
And he didn't. He's giving a corner to the way.
Corner from the right, curled into the near post, headed away. That'll go out for another corner. Doan waits for a ball to arrive. Doan's the super sub, so he can't come on at half-time and do what he's been doing in this tournament. Took him 4 minutes against Germany, 2 minutes against Spain. This is late in the first half. Takes the corner short to Canada. Doan might be able to get across him with his left foot. It's good delivery.
Oh my days, 1-0! Japan! 1-0 Japan! Oh God. Oh God.
In the right place at the right time. Japan won. Croatia 0.
A well-worked corner kick. We just said that it was a silly corner kick to give away. The first one was actually headed out again, but this is well worked. Shortly taken. First it goes backwards, and then one more time back, and then a perfect left-footed cross from the right-hand side into the box. I don't think it's offside. It's a little bit of a scramble, and Maeda is at the end of an easy chance, and it's 1-0 Croatia. Oh, sorry, 1-0 Japan.
Yes.
It's Croatia.
Yes, and look at what that means to the Japanese fans all around this stadium. Have we got another huge upset on our hands, courtesy of Japan? Checking for possible offside leading up to goal has appeared on our screen. So Japan and Japanese fans everywhere will be desperately hoping there is.
You know why? Because I know that them man there have Croatian defenders. I don't, bro. Come on, bro. Go. Play.
Yeah, I would say a balance is well deserved. It's not like any other team. The two teams have played particularly well. This, as I said it before, it's been very, very cautious from both sides.
Honestly, Kovacic, when you've got a couple games in, you think got the legs going. No,
maybe
relax.
will commit a little bit
Come back home to the UK.
Now, last minute of the first half,
Stay fit. Ready for the season.
BBC Sounds.
The second half is the most important part of the season.
Incredible tournament they are having. Picture of Dyson Maeda appears on the big screen around the grounds as his teammate Taniguchi, the centre back, heads the ball away. So what Croatia got in response? Not been full of goals in this tournament. Gvardiol is on the ball. It was another.
Even today on Wednesday.
The delivery from the flanks of Japan has been really good.
Yeah, and it's clearly something that they spotted that there's a weakness.
That was for Grealish, isn't it? So I'm seeing what they'll do on
I
that
don't
day.
think they've defended well. I said this. I look at Lovren. Lovren is in between all the time, and of course,
On the release today, bro.
The leg to the corner, the first corner kick of the two, Juranovic, there was no need for him to get that corner kick away. The goalkeeper was right behind him, a yard behind him. It was clear to see that he was shouting for the ball. He could court the ball, and you know they would have restarted from there. But he headed it out for corner kick. The first corner kick was kicked in. They went for another corner kick, and then it was a short corner kick. Was passed back one time, and then one more going back one more, and the corner kick taker on his left foot put it back in, and they just didn't deal with this with the cross again. And they've been warned. I think they have been warned. I mean, I thought.
Yeah. And it was Doan with the left-footed cross. So he's had an impact again. But Dyson Maeda, the goal scorer, Lovren's under real pressure. Plays it back to Livakovic. Maeda still going. Tries to.
That's why, for his man, I was so close to putting Perisic in my team. But I said, you know what? Because I looked at, imagine it. I looked at the team. Alexandro ain't even fit, fam. He ain't playing today.
So no.
Yeah, so I didn't. So because I was gonna sub him in, but then it's like no, it didn't work. So I don't know. I know Neymar. He might got injured while not playing, innit? I don't know. He didn't play the last match, but nonetheless, though, but yeah, Donny, yeah, so I just put him with Charleston. I didn't have enough for Neymar unless I was to take out Mbappe. I didn't really want to take out Mbappe. You know, like, because I believe, because either way I have Vinicius and Richarlison, so if Neymar is either going to get goals or assists, and if he gets assists, one of them two are definitely going to score. Or Vinicius will get the assist for Neymar. Or Richarlison. It's going to be interesting still. Interesting game later.
Overlapping run from Juranovic. Cross comes in to the far post. Lovren tries to attack it. The ball is over his head. And the half-time whistle blows.
One of the better team, bro.
They have been the better team still. No cap.
Japan leading Croatia by a goal to nil.
They are, and it's kind of, you know, I'm really looking forward to the second 45 minutes. See how Japan going to react to being 1-0 up. They haven't been 1-0 up yet.
So they're dabbing each other up at half time.
Is Croatia going to deal with this? Clearly, they have to do something. They have to change and be a bit more positive, and maybe attack Japan a little bit. And that promises an open game.
Very enjoyable for the Japanese at the break. It is Japan 1, Croatia 0. Subarashi desu ne. Very good. Wonderful. From the Japanese, excellent performance in the first half, Alan.
Been a much better team. They've moved the ball a lot quicker. They've got into better positions in the box. They've created chances. They've been bright. They've been alert, and they've basically stopped Croatia playing, because we know that those three midfielders want to get on the ball. They've not allowed that, and they've played at their tempo rather than at Croatia's tempo, which has been a really good sign for them.
Croatia will be worried.
Yeah, they will, and I said about the experience of this Croatian team will be a positive for them, but they look a bit leggy, as Jermaine said in commentary. They look like they're a team that are aging.
Too far,
yeah, maybe, and definitely in the transitions, when we mentioned before, Japan have been very, very good at that in previous games. They're looking as dangerous as ever.
Yeah. Played some really good football at times, Japan.
They have, yeah. We spoke before about them not having much possession, but they've actually looked really comfortable out there in possession today. Even from the back, they're going through the lines well. It's just the front three are just so sharp. I was saying to you before, it wouldn't be nice to defend against them, because they suck you in and they go behind. So everything's so fast. They're just so sharp and they're in control, and they're getting up and pressing Croatia as well.
They were as low as 18% in one of the games they played in the group stage, up to 40% today. You could see that, couldn't you? We got a goal in the end, just in good time to score as well. And they actually had an early warning, didn't they, Croatia?
Yeah, they did with Taniguchi. The short corner again, but you're thinking from a Croatian point of view, come on, you can't allow this to happen. There's not energy in there, you're not closing down. And then, so there's the warning, and this is the goal. They still don't get out to the short ball, and it's a wonderful crossing. They work it really well. They've got numbers in there, and it falls through, and he sticks the wheel on the left foot. It's clever play, because Croatia are not prepared to come out and work and close down. And if you're not, you're going to get punished, and they have to.
Yeah.
I think on that one, once you get the first one, wrong on a short corner, then you've just got to adjust it on the pitch, even if it's what you worked on the day before. And someone's got to say, that can't happen again. We need to send two people. It sort of epitomises everything that's been wrong with Croatia, being lazy.
Yeah, sure.
And the guy's got the goal, Maeda. He's been in very
Let's see what
He's been an absolute rival. I think it's only his second international goal. But he's looked like somebody like a man possessed up there. You won't want to play against that, as I said. He's running around, making it difficult for you. We've got around the ball. He's an absolute nuisance here. This is the first minute of the game, closing the keeper down. You know you're in for it now. And that's a catalyst for the others to come behind, press behind me. And his movement there to get across the front of Lovren was fantastic there. Takes him away from the ball and then comes back across him there. Lovren, no chance. Top draw movement, just didn't have the final piece of the jigsaw there. Again, what I like about him, he's always on the move there. All of a sudden, when the ball again, just drifts behind the centre half.
Been a nightmare for them, hasn't it, at the back?
Yeah.
So too much energy for them.
Yeah. Croatia, I mean, we talked about them before the game, that we thought maybe they lack attacking options. And I mean, they've obviously got that great and experienced midfield behind them. But they did look like short up front now.
Yeah, we said it. We highlighted it before the game, where their reluctance to run in behind, or they don't have any energy in forward positions. They just look slow and lazy and one-paced. And when they have knocked it in behind, then they've caused one or two problems. But there's the same thing again there. You've got your three midfielders there. At times, I know it's difficult, but at times one of them's got to do what Modric at least is trying to do. I mean, he's 37 years of age. You've got to try and upset that back four, because they're so easy in terms of marking Kramaric and Perisic and Pekovic. So it's just, yeah, there's no spark there at all from them. It's too easy to defend against. At times you've got to go in behind, you've got to ask a different question rather than keep on coming towards the ball all the time, because that makes it very easy for defenders, and Japan have been really comfortable.
They're actually looking to avoid an unwanted record, and that 2-goal draws. The third, they joined West Germany, who in 1978 had 3 goalless draws, and Poland in 82. I think England had 2 in 82, didn't they? Germany and Spain in the second group stage, if I recall correctly. But they have had a couple of opportunities, actually.
Yeah, when they did get there, it was disappointing. It was exactly what Al said before. They just didn't. If you look at the Maeda goal, he's so lively in the box, and he wants to score. this team, the Croatia team, it's almost like there's no hunger for someone to smash the ball into the back of the net. Like they have got into a couple of good positions in the first half, and it's just like there's no it's too slow. It's too slow and it's predictable. This is Croatia. This is where they have got people into the box, but they're just not. It's like they can't convert it. That's all. They
haven't got a ruthless edge to them at all. The goal record for the three players that come from isn't potent.
He's got to knock everyone out of the way here and get on the end of it. Get on the end of that.
You anticipated?
Yeah.
No anticipation. But playing against that, they wouldn't worry you one bit. None of them run behind you. They all want to come to the ball. You can see them all the time. You know where they are. It's just the easiest way to play.
They heard what my man said in the pre-match.
Japanese.
They heard what the manager said in the pre-match.
Yeah.
Everyone's looked really bright in the forward positions. The other
He's
ones
probably
that have been running behind, being
Should have said that. Look at them.
Logic has mileage on his legs, fam.
That's partly down to
Logic
how
has mileage on
lethargic
his legs.
Croatia have been. And that's what I mean about being sharp. Okay, it's a poor finish, but at least they're looking to get in behind and cause them problems, and they've done that. They deserve the lead. They're moving sharp, aren't they? Yeah, they've just come out of the corner flag there, checked, and I think he's had a brilliant first half. Kamad, and he's been roaming around, he's playing, he's growing into it. Unlucky not to finish it, but they just moved the ball so fast and sharp around the box.
Yeah, we picked up Kovacic before the game, Rio.
I appreciate the views
in
on
the first half.
20 years old,
Yeah.
knockout stages, maybe a bit nervous at times. This is first, I think his second touch of the ball, he's put it into the stands there. But listen, he'll grow and come of age, he'll learn. And I think as a young players listening and watching these games, you learn a lot more about yourself when things don't go as well as normal and you don't play your normal game. That's when you can look at yourself sometimes and that was pretty good. He's had good moments, but he's also had moments where he's looked 20 years old, he's looked inexperienced.
We talked about, didn't we, shining their weapons before the game, the Samurais, but I'm not sure that was what we meant.
Well, this kid will have a good career, don't worry about that.
Yeah, of course. Gets us out, but you can see the things he can
forward.
That's forward's fault, that one.
Okay, plenty more to enjoy on iPlayer. We have a license to go back.
I need to find out how these things are connected, because this vibe is strong. That's very good.
Appreciate the views, people.
BBC iPlayer.
Keep up to date with all the latest news from Qatar with the World Cup Daily Podcast. Listen on BBC Sounds. Ahead of Brazil's game tonight, why not watch Ronaldo, the phenomenon, charting the story of the Brazilian World Cup winning great. That's on iPlayer. And speaking of icons, the Messi film is also available on iPlayer.
22 strangers are about to play the game of a lifetime and to hopefully win up to £120,000. They'll work together as a team, completing epic missions. But hidden amongst them are the traitors. It's up to the others to banish them before they become their next victim.
Not the traitor, I swear on everything.
The Traitors. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Traitors.
I can't show you.
As for England, they had a recovery session today after last night's win over Senegal. 4 days before they take on the reigning world champions, France. Kelly Summers has the latest from the camp.
England were greeted with raucous celebrations upon their return to the Al Wafra Hotel last night. But today it was very much back to business for Gareth Southgate's side, as is customary the day after a game. Those that started the match against Senegal were in the gym, whilst those that didn't were back out on the training pitch. However, Callum Wilson,
Senegal take those early chances, it's a different game.
A minor strain. Ben White and Raheem Sterling remained absent, having both returned back to the UK. Now, we also got to hear from one of last night's goal scorers, Bukayo Saka, was speaking about just how England can cause France problems in their quarter-final on Saturday.
If you look at our first 4 games, I think we have 3 clean sheets. So it starts, how solid we've been at the back, and that's credit to defenders and obviously Pickers, our keeper. They've been exceptional there. And of course, at the same time, we've scored the most goals as well. So I feel like we just need to just prepare the best game plan and go there with confidence because we're playing good right now. There's no doubt, the quality we have in our team. We're blessed with an amazing front line with so much quality, attacking players, and when you get selected in that lineup, it shows how much confidence and trust the coach puts in you. So it gives you that extra confidence to go out there and shine. And last night you were able to do that.
Well, shining is certainly something that England have done at this tournament so far. As it stands, they've scored more goals than anyone else in the competition, with 12 coming from 8 different goal scorers, and they haven't conceded a single goal since the opening group match against Iran. All things that bode very well heading into a huge quarter-final clash with the World Cup holders France on Saturday.
People are France.
Yeah, but even though they haven't, because you see all of this, what all of this talk is doing, is fueling this Brazil thing, because realistically, obviously England conceded 2 goals in the group stage, but USA only conceded 1. Even though, and get me, Netherlands conceded 1 in the group stage.
And they all want to go there and they want to perform, but this team.
Croatia conceded 1, Morocco conceded 1, and Brazil conceded 1. And fair enough, they scored the most goals, but they had Iran, fam. And Wales as well, they got brushed. Man said they conceded 6 goals in the group stage. So Brazil tonight, you man need to mash up the scoreline. No cap.
Well, I think they've done a bit in there, definitely, because they all come out and speak so maturely, and they don't get carried away either, or say silly things in that we can talk about, or it seems like it's kind of the social media situation. Yeah, do you think that helps as well? Yeah, I think so. If you do something stupid, because it keeps them all focused. And
appreciate the views from people down.
Just concentrate on what they're doing.
Half time minute, waiting for the second half to start. Croatia need to they need to be on their ish, because if they're not, Japan will score another goal and probably wrap up the match. Whoever scores the next goal, change up the game dramatically if there is a second goal.
Yeah, France are a good side, even irrespective of whether they've got 5 of the big hitters out injured. But they have got the 2 best players. Yeah, they have. Look at England. Look at the options that England have got. Look at what they've done in forward positions. The goals that are scored, the goals that are around. It's not just Mbappe to worry about, by the way, because I've been to 2 of France's games. Griezmann's playing really, really well. Really well. Obviously, there's Mbappe. Giroud, who's now got the France record, is taking over Thierry Henry. Perhaps might not get as much love as he deserves. And what France do, they're not afraid to put balls into the box for him, either side, Dembele and Mbappe. They'll move the ball out 1 yard and then whip that ball in for him. I think that should actually suit us, because our players are used to that.
Yeah, okay, looking over your shoulder, I can see the 2 teams are out on the pitch. Japan are leading at half-time in the World Cup knockout stage match for the first time. Can they hold on to reach the quarterfinals for the first time?
Thank you, Kelly. Yes, unusual position for Japan to be in the big wins over Germany and Spain. They were behind at half-time. The manager would then make changes, and they would have an immediate impact in this tournament. But they lead, and neither
second half has started.
Personnel for the second half. A lone bird has come fluttering into the stadium, about 10 feet above pitch level, catching our eye away to the right. Game is underway. Kamada's little lofted ball forward, looking for Doan. Croatia are able to deal with that. Play it up towards Petkovic on the halfway line. He's bundled over. Thought he should have had a free kick. Doesn't get the decision. Here's Kamada onto his right foot. Hits the shot. Always rising over the bar. It goes. Good start to the second half by Japan, looking for that second goal. Finish, Michael.
Yeah, you said that right at the end of the first half. Don't miss the start of the second half, because Japan, they have this knack of creating something, and they did. I have to say, it looks like Croatia is still in the dressing room. They haven't turned up. That was far too easy. It ended up in a shot from 25 yards, and it was well over, but there's still an opportunity that shouldn't have happened.
Japan, 45 minutes away from a first ever World Cup quarter-final. Perisic's ball into their penalty area. And that is Taniguchi who clears it at the near post. Shuichi Gonda in goal. Tomiyasu, Yoshida, Taniguchi, the three centre-backs. Ito and Nagatomo, the two wing-backs. Wataru Endo and Hidemasa Morita, the two central midfielders. Doan on the right, Kamada on the left, and the goal scorer, Daizen Maeda of Celtic, playing through the middle. Throw in for Croatia, level with the penalty spot in the Japan box, headed away by Yoshida. The ball's not quite clear yet, bounces once. Kamada just knocks it to his left. Nagatomo puts everything into that clearance. Up in the air it goes. Lovren cushions a header to his right. Juranovic plays the ball infield and easily intercepted by Taniguchi. Flipped on by Brozovic. Laid down by Kovacic. And here is Gvardiol, who's playing in this protective black mask, the left-sided centre-back for Croatia.
And now we see Croatia, they've got the ball. In the first half, they were so cautious. Let's see how they approach this second half. They're 1-0 down. They're 45 minutes of going away from going out of the World Cup. They need to be a bit more aggressive, and they need to take more chances.
Maeda chasing through. Lovren got just enough on the header back to his goalkeeper, Livakovic. Livakovic of Dinamo Zagreb in goal. Juranovic and Barisic, the full-backs. Lovren and Gvardiol, the two centre-backs. Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic, that midfield three. Yoshida's header goes straight up in the air, bounces in front of Petkovic. Japan get bodies in the way inside the box, and Endo clears with his right foot. Hoffenheim's Andrej Kramaric on one side, Perisic of Tottenham on the other, and Petkovic making his first start at this World Cup. The centre-forward who's not had much of an impact in the game. Great sliding challenge from Endo to win a loose ball. It goes out for a throw into Croatia on the right.
They are two big fellows, Petkovic and Kramaric, and they should be more dominating when the ball gets into the box, and they're not. They haven't got a lot of pace, so that's something they have to do. They have to win those headers, and they just had an opportunity where they didn't. Now we see a long throw into the box again from Croatia.
Flatter trajectory on that one. Volleyed attempt from Kovacic. He's looping wide of the Japanese goal. Bounces behind.
Knows about them spectaculars, you know what that one was.
3 minutes gone in the second half. Japan leading Croatia 1-0.
And what's been really clear in this game, the 41st, 45 minutes, we see that now in the beginning here, is that Japan has got much more pace in every position all over the pitch. So for Croatia needs to find answers. So one of them is the physical bit. So get the balls up to the two big strikers and let them fight for it in the box, and then get support from midfield. And we've seen little glimpses of that, but they're not. Again, as I said earlier, they're not fully committed to either or, if you like.
Livakovic clears first time, the Croatian goalkeeper. Morita heads to his right. Here's Kovacic. He loses it. Quickly midfield to Ito. Oh, that's a lovely touch and turn from Doan. Holds off Gvardiol. He's got support on the left from Nagatomo. Gvardiol backs off. Japan, of course, scored a couple of early goals in the second half against Belgium in the last 16. And Russia, ball in from Doan. Sliding challenge from Lovren. Ball goes straight up in the air. Lovren on his feet quickly. Volley from the edge of the box from Morita. Gvardiol heads this away. Second header from Juranovic. Ball drops loose on the edge of the box, and Juranovic taking no prisoners there, just puts his right foot through it and clears it high to the halfway line. Yoshida heads it to his right, wouldn't quite come down for Ito, headed away by Barisic.
Well, this super sub, Litsu Doan, he started today. He's been absolutely fantastic. It was his cross that they scored from very late on in the first half, and he just put another one in. This one was flat, and again, the Croatian defence had a hard time dealing with that. He's been tremendous today, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's super starter now. He's super starter now. Let's see if they make it through to the quarterfinals, whether he gets a start in that game as well. Free kick for Japan on the right. But as I say, against Belgium 4 years ago in Rostov, they took a 2-0 lead. They eventually got take back and lost that thriller by 3-2. And I remember that closing move so well in the dying minutes. De Bruyne kind of striding out of his own half, and you could see it all playing out in front of him. And it was Chadley who stuck the ball away. So Japan taking nothing for granted as yet, but they do lead Croatia, and they deservedly lead Croatia.
I think they do. Yeah. I think they do. And when you go back to that game against Belgium, what a game that was. And of course, Japan was a losing side that day, but they have learned from that game. It's very clear.
Lovren with a header back to Livakovic. He was under pressure from Maida. Livakovic just bowls it out underarm here, plays it across to Modric. That is the man, of course, Croatia are looking to, playing in his 5th World Cup. Ball to the right, Juranovic early cross in. Yoshida who got the crucial touch actually, which led to the Maida goal. He just stuck out a right leg to keep that ball alive. Maida reacted quickest right at the end of the first half. That's why Japan lead. Cross from Barisic, looks too close to the goalkeeper. And Pekovic down inside the penalty area. He's appealing for a penalty. VAR will clearly have a look.
This is the referee that gave the non-penalty to Ronaldo. So this time he waved it away. Let's see. It looked like he was taken down, but
Pekovic onto the ball just outside the penalty area now. Right-footed cross is straight to the goalkeeper, who falls gratefully onto the ball. So VAR will have had a look. They will be communicating. So the referee at the moment just waving play on.
No chance.
I don't know. Petrovic, he went down very, very easy there. It's a little hand on the shoulder, but it's not enough for a penalty. But you never know with this referee, you know?
That's true. Taniguchi just has to be a bit careful. I mean, he's doing what all defenders do, staying close, had a slight handful of shirt, but I think Peter Schmeichel absolutely spot on. Pekovic is a big fella, and I think if you touched him like that, you know, if you were in a sort of a race for a taxi with him, I don't think he'd be going down like that if you gave him a slight nudge.
But it's a little bit of that I want Croatia to do. Balls in the box like that, and let Petrovic and Kranovic, let them fight for it. You just don't know. They're not going to beat Japan on pace anywhere at the pitch.
Pekovic layoff, doesn't find Kramaric. Here's Morita. Plays it to his left to Nagatomo. Intercepted by Modric. Wide on the right, midway inside the Japan half. Plays it to Pekovic. Left-footed cross is beyond Kovacic. Couldn't do anything with that. Junior Ito is interested here. He's eating up the ground on the right-hand side. He's definitely got the beating of Barisic if he wants to go that way. Turns inside him, stops for a second and plays the ball back to Doan. Into midfield it comes to Endo. Endo is looking for options. Lovely curling ball out to the right. Ito's cross, half deflected, made a jumps for it. The ball is headed in the air and behind, and that's a corner for Japan.
It's a corner again, and here's a big difference between the Japanese team and the Croatian team. With that amount of energy that they infuse into it when they have the ball, they run forward with pace, and they're asking questions of the Croatian defenders. And this time, they won a corner kick at 3 minutes from the end of the first half. Yeah. They scored from the corner kick. Same side.
Yes, good point. Junior Ito, who plays on that right-hand side, plays in Ligue 1 for Reims. Joined them from Genk this summer. 8 goals, 21 assists last season in Belgium. That doesn't surprise me at all watching him here. Corner comes in. Taniguchi flicks it back to the edge of the box. Volleyed away by Juranovic. He sliced that nearly hits that sort of spider cam on the big wires above the pitch. Dangled high above the players. Lovren just side foots the ball to Juranovic. Gives it back to Lovren. And time is Croatia's enemy, of course. 35 minutes to play. And at the moment they're heading out of this World Cup to Japan, who lead Croatia by a goal to nil. Modric with his left foot. Low pass out to Barisic. Uses Modric.
Japan has still been playing better.
There's no sign, there's nothing that tells you this is going to change, the situation is going to change. Modric's got the ball.
Them men are moving too slow. Japan, they're just on it.
And gets the ball every time they have it. And everything is so slow. They need to speed it up. They need to ask better questions of Japan, but they're not. It's easy for Japan at the moment.
Kramaric running from right to left has left it for Brozovic. Brozovic side foots the ball out to Juranovic on the right. Lovren wants to speed things up and get across into the box. Header from Barisic. Wow! What an incredible header that's gone flying past Gunda and ended up in the back of the net. He had so much to do from that cross from Lovren on the right.
1-1.
But he's planted into the bottom
Good
corner.
game on the way, man. Good game.
Record goal scorer in major tournaments, and he won't have scored many better than that. That's Japan 1, Croatia 1.
And I won't say it's well deserved, but we've been calling for them to do exactly that. Get the ball in there, let them fight for it. the Dejan Lovren gets the ball. It's kind of like he's 40 yards back. He's a bit tired of this playing the ball to and from. So he puts a very, very good cross into the ball. At the end of it, it's Perisic. He heads it across goal down to the bottom corner. No chance for Gonda. What a great goal. And it came out of absolutely nothing.
What a header from Ivan Perisic. Pace and placement as well. Met it with real purpose. Gonda throwing himself to his left. Couldn't get there. And out of nowhere, really, Croatia are back in the game. So many quality balls from Japan into the Croatian penalty area. Finally, a really good one into Japan's box. And that is some header.
It's just funny to see when Belova got the ball. He's looking around thinking, no, I'm not having this anymore. And he crossed the ball. I mean, not a lot of players would have crossed the ball from there. But he crossed the ball in, and the result is they scored. And this is what I've been saying. They should be doing more than ask questions of this defense. They haven't done that.
I was actually thinking of putting in my team. When I said it for you, I said, I kid you not. I was so close to putting Perisic in my team, but now look, keep on going. This is how I know I should win, because I make good choices, man. So my choice later has to pay off, man.
With a high swinging cross into the Croatian penalty area. Slight mix up there between a couple of the defenders. Endo on his right foot fancies a shot.
Endo.
Kovacic tips it over the bar. That'll be a corner.
If you changed the E to the I, everyone would have been on his name for real.
Let's see if that might just take a little bit of a deflection. Was it Brozovic? Took a little
They must have loved doing South Korean moves.
Japan, after being pegged back to 1-1, having a corner kick from the same side, they scored from half-time.
Corner for Japan.
Really? So ex-player?
Delivers with his left foot. Levankovic comes a long way, sticks out a big right paw. And
It's an ex-player. I can't remember his name, but it's definitely an ex-player. We're actually a Chelsea player.
Should be able to bring this away.
Pass
to his right to Kovacic. Kovacic just happy to launch that long downfield. Ito will chase it
Well, there's
back and play back to his goalkeeper, Gonda. So 13 minutes gone, second half. BBC Radio 5 live at the Al Januba Stadium. Peter Schmeichel alongside. Japan won, Croatia won, and we've got full country in Brazil, South Korea to come. And Modric finds Perisic, and Perisic is in the mood, into the box, onto the right foot, can't get the shot away. Might fall from Brozovic, no, just cleared away.
Now this is a game. You did say it should be 3-1 Croatia.
Part of this game. How are Japan going to react to being pegged back? They only had the lead for a short period of time in the game. They haven't been in front before, and it's now back to old square. How are they going to react? Are they still going to have all this energy? Are they still going to play with the same mood? Because they've been in good mood, I have to say that. And will the experience of Croatia now take over?
10th goal for Ivan Perisic in major tournaments for Croatia. Some achievement. 6 World Cup goals, takes him level with Davor Šuker as well. Throw in Croatia. Juranovic dummies the long one. Lovren wasn't really looking there. The ball ran away from him under his right boot. Crosses with his left foot instead, headed away by Morita. Modric can't control. Morita, first time clearance on the half volley. The ball is spinning viciously in the air. Lovren heads it away. Doan brings it down on his left thigh. Laid back by Kamada. Just going to wait and see what the Japanese manager, Hajime Moriyasu, has up his sleeve here. They do tend to play in fits and starts and bursts and spurts to Japan. Now they've been pegged back. Now it's 1-1, and now they're trying to play out of their own half. Endo back to Yoshida. Good delivery from Yoshida. First time ball. Finds Doan in acres of space on the right-hand side. Kamada drops alongside him, receives the pass, turns, plays it to his left. And here's Morita. Nagatomo comes speeding up on the left, easily recognisable with the rust-red hair. Right-footed cross comes into the box. Hit away by Lovren. Controlled here by Endo. Might fancy the here. He's overrun that, but it's going to run to Morita. Not the best shot from him. Back to Endo. Doan trying to turn and shoot with his left foot. Easily saved by Levankovic.
I have to say, Juranovic is allowing another cross to get into the box. I mean, you know, he should be much closer to Nagatomo, who was put cross after cross in. And the thing is, in these kind of games, you have to concentrate every moment. There's not 1 second in this game where you can sort of let go and think, oh, it's going to be all right. And that's one thing that they haven't done. They haven't concentrated on that part of where Japan has really, really hurt them today. They haven't stopped those crosses. And, you know, to give a player of the quality of those crosses, you know, 5-6 yards, you just don't give that, you know. We're so far into the game now, they should have learned, when an hour into it, they know this is what's hurt them before, to stop it.
Japan 1, Croatia 1. Thoughts from Peter Schmeichel on BBC Radio 5 Live, always available via the BBC Sounds app if you're on the move during this World Cup. Crossing from the left-hand side is dealt with by Yoshida on the volley. Doan is fouled, I'm sure, there by Barisic, gets the free kick. And it's Zlatko Dalic, in terms of the sort of game of strategy and tactics from the two managers. He's going to make the first change. It's an interesting one as well. Petkovic, the centre forward, who's not had too much of an impact in the game, he comes straight off. Ante Budimir, who's currently playing at Osasuna on loan from Real Mallorca at the age of 31, is thrown into the action for his first appearance at this World Cup, and it looks like he is going to play through the middle for Croatia. So that is the first change.
I think that's a right change. I mean, he's not been very good today. He's had absolutely no impact on the game whatsoever. He had the opportunity. He's not taken it. He's not done anything for Croatia. So let's see if Buda can do a better job.
Croatia, the experts really at knockout games at the World Cup, going into this one. They've won 5 out of 7. The only 2 defeats for them, both against France. Semi-finals in '98, final in 2018. Went behind today, back to 1-1. Is Lovren hitting a ball into that Japanese penalty area from range. Yoshida clears now. Forced to Modric. Bounces.
Oh!
Shot. Oh, fabulous save. Gonda full stretch to his right
Modric,
side.
right?
Nice Modric. It's behind for a corner.
If there ever was a player you wanted that ball to fall for, it was Luka Modric. And what a shot. Top corner, but the save is even better. What a save by Gonda.
Peter Schmeichel purring at that one. Gonda diving to his
Yeah,
right.
like Kovacic on college.
He used the left arm, didn't he, to get to that ball that was dipping into it.
He used the one that was nearest to the ball.
17 minutes gone in the second half. This is a great last 16 tie at the World Cup. Cross comes in from Modric. Oh, that's good delivery, though, beyond everyone. Juranovic sprinting like fury to get to the ball. Can't keep it in. And it goes behind for a goal kick.
That was clearly a drill from the training ground as well. And the only thing was, there's a few players who didn't know they were doing exactly that. That would have been an opportunity. We're just watching the save again from Gonda. That was a fantastic shot by Luka Modric. He got the ball. It was in the air. He took it down, and it was a full volley with direction to the top corner, and the goalkeeper came up, saved it, gave a corner kick away, and that led to nothing. So at the moment, Gonda has kept Japan in the game. It's still 1-1.
Double change for Japan, and it is an interesting one, as it always is. So Maeda comes off, no surprise, because he just runs and runs and runs and eventually runs out of gas. So Takuma Asano comes on, who scored that brilliant winner against Germany in the group stages. Nagatomo, the left back, comes off, and Karu Mitoma, the brilliant Brighton winger, comes on for Japan. And here is Asano trying to get away from Guardiola, who's just got enough to block his run towards that ball. Livakovic off his line to collect it for Croatia. So we'll see how Japan rearrange here. It looks like Mitoma as left wing back. So basically Mitoma comes in for Nagatomo, and they'll offer that attacking threat down the left-hand side with Kamada ahead of him, and Takuma Asano as the centre forward to replace Maeda. 25 minutes to play. Extra time and penalties is very, very possible. Guardiola's ball up to the edge of the area. There is Mitoma doing a defensive job, chesting the ball down. And here's Brozovic, low pass to his right point. Barisic plays back to Guardiola inside his own half. Croatia defending the goal away to our left. Inside this Al Januba stadium. A glorious moon glinting in a dark night sky above us. This stadium actually has a retractable roof, and you can see the curtains all sort of drawn together, were they ever to come over along those big thick steel wires above our heads. Livakovic with the ball at his feet, edge of the D, drives it downfield with his right foot, headed by Perisic across to his right. Arita clears. Juranovic is back to go on the halfway line. Does really well for Croatia there. Looks for the 1-2 with Perisic. Keeps going. Budimir making a run in the middle. They can't find him. Yoshida clears. Weak clearance. Brozovic onto it quickly. Brozovic, little back heel. That's nice. Here's Perisic. Left with his shot. Deflected. The ball spins in the air. Headed clear, but only as far as Barisic. Nice little turn from Kramaric, who's over on the left now for Croatia. Chops it back onto his right foot. Dummies the cross. Keeps going. Low pass across to Brozovic here. Japan having to do some defending. Brozovic back to Kramaric. Kramaric. Right shooting shot. Deflected. Put it down. Budimir just wide. Skidding off the turf and behind for the goal kick.
That was another opportunity to score. Budimir has just come on. I think it was Kramer who's actually attempted the shot, and it was kind of deflected into Budimic's pass. It was. I think he should have done better. I think that should have been a goal. He's not under pressure. The ball is directly to him, and he scuffs it wide. Unfortunately for Croatia.
Thinking possibly a Giroud or a Kane might have stuck that away. Ball's gone straight out for a throw into Croatia from the goal kick.
Saying is Giroud France's greatest striker?
Modric moving at full speed. Going to get on the end of this throw. Short Perisic. Instead, Peter and I were talking goalkeepers ahead of the game. I know Szczesny's obviously impressed you, Peter, but he's had a good tournament, hasn't he, for Japan?
Yeah, I think he's not only had a good tournament, he's been producing match-winning saves. And I think he's kind of at the beginning of this adventure for Japan, because he had those 4 saves in the same group, but that changed the game.
Where's the goals? Same way it's his same way like let's deep. Someone like Timo Werner didn't score a lot of goals, but in terms of like contributing, like getting assists and that, he always did. But no one will ever look up that, because everyone will say he was bought to be a striker, so he gets judged on the goals. That's what Bearman was saying.
Really doing it. Destroying it.
Is coming into the action.
What did you get that year? Was it 2020?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's doing that.
No, of course. I'm just saying what people.
The whole reason for such what's his name?
True. Substitute appearance in the tournament. Yet to start a game, but has been involved in every single one.
Giroud just happens to just get more goals. So, yeah. We're talking strictly just the national team.
2022, Japan, in their attempts to reach the quarterfinals, did lose the penalty shootout back in 2010, lost that one.
Soon enough, they'll be Mbappe anyway.
Paraguay, Croatia, of course, won those shootouts against Denmark.
Mbappe's already on 33.
Years ago, as Yoshida wins a header.
Giroud's on 52, so he needs 19 more.
He's tackled by Pasalic, throwing Japan.
I think with the
by the time the Euros come.
Because if it was someone like Mbappe that was breaking the record now, no one would say anything. It would be like, yeah, like greatest French striker of all time. You know, because it's Giroud. You know, because it's just Giroud. It's like
if it was Benzema.
Yeah, it's not like Giroud's not sexy. Just what I'm saying. All the World Cup without scored a goal. It's like, yeah, these kind of things catch the name.
It's difficult. I hear it.
Japan in their blue shirts.
Giroud is people sleep on him. It's like fine wine.
He does have some great feet. Takes on Pasalic, beats him, and then knocks the next ball too far. He was trying to just take one more touch to get the cross, and it's gone beyond him. It's gone behind for a goal kick. So Kovacic has the ball in those big black gloves, bounces it twice, puts it on the edge of the 6-yard box. 1-1 in the last 16. Winners to face Brazil or South Korea in the quarterfinals. Zlatko Dalic, the Croatian boss, very engaged at the moment outside. Technical area, you can get in real trouble for that, you know. Slowly making his way back into his little box there. Header bounces out of play, throw in Japan. Dalic thought it was a Croatian throw. Japan have already taken it. Morita looking for the 1-2 here. Morita onto the next ball. Free kick Japan. Could have played an advantage there, but they've been able to take that very, very quickly. And Tomiyasu is the one coming driving forward. Not a great pass, Ito. It's beyond him. Throwing Croatia.
Not a great pass. So they're a little bit rattled at the moment, Japan. They've not really created anything in the last sort of 10 minutes. And this time, it's not like we've seen the substitution have a really, really big effect on the Japanese team, but this time, it's not really happened. I really do feel that Croatia are in full control over this now.
Okay, Tomiyasu's ball in is beyond Kamada. Juranovic tearing away down the right, just clipped as he went. Foul by Asano. Free kick for Croatia. 20 minutes to play. Modric on the ball for them. Takes the free kick. Casually rolls it to Gvardiol. Brozovic drops between the centre-backs. Picks up the running for Croatia inside his own half. Wide to Pasalic, who's a tall, powerfully built midfielder. That's ball from Brozovic. Giving it away. Marita looking for that through ball to Doan. Gvardiol read it, heads that away. Perisic just nods it down inside the Japanese half. And Japan are able to take control of that. It's Morita, who plays to his right. There's Tomiyasu, and they'll start to build from the back with Taniguchi. Taniguchi into the feet of Frankfurt's Kamada. Back to the skipper Yoshida. Across to Morita. And forward to Doan. First touch and a flip. Up to Asano. Asano brings that ball down. Rolls it to his right-hand side. Doan is waiting for this cross. If it comes in from Ito. Low ball again into the near post. Read by Lovren and dealt with. Kovacic to Perisic. Oh, that was clever from Perisic on the turn. Didn't even look. Knew Brozovic was going to be there. On to Kovacic. Nice move building from Croatia inside their own half. Pasalic. Ball laid off by Juranovic to the main man Modric. Modric just glides forward 30 yards. Little trick. Works it onto his right foot. Diagonal floated ball. Headed behind for a Croatian corner.
As I said before, I feel like they're in full control of this game. They're defending better now. Yes, the cross came in, but inside the box, they're lining up differently. They had that under control, and then this here passes a play all the way up to a corner kick given now. I just feel that the experience of having been here before is kicking in now, and for the last 10-15 minutes. Japan has really created nothing. Not even, something like
have a good day tomorrow for the first day.
Strengthening their grip at the moment. Corners. Modric with his right foot low one into Perisic. Tries to lay it back to the edge of the box. Easily cut out by Asano. Plays this ball back to Ito, who lofts it high. Juranovic plays a volley pass towards Lovren. Has to win that challenge. He's lost it to Morita. Lovren goes down and does win the free kick just inside Japan's half.
Yeah, that's a mistake by the referee. That was never a free kick to Lovren. And had he not given it, Japan would have had a counter attack. And you can hear that from the crowd here. That was a big mistake by the referee.
Japan trying to reach the quarterfinals for the first time in their history. Took the lead in this game just before half-time if you are just joining us. Brilliant headed equaliser from Ivan Perisic. An absolute bullet header flew past yonder. Ball into the edge of the box here to Pasalic. Plays it back to the right. Juranovic giving time to get another dangerous ball in. Pasalic flick header, cross goal and easily wide. Goal kick for Japan.
But that's what I think Croatia they've got to do more of. Get crosses in there. Ask the question of the Japanese defenders, and they're literally winning every header in there. This one was one as well. It wasn't in a great position. It went down for a goal kick, but it keeps the Japanese defenders thinking about what they have to do. And
it could potentially be going extra time.
Comes off.
Will we see the first extra time in the last of 16? Because there's 15 minutes remaining. 15 minutes remaining.
Comes into the action, so reorganisation again. Yeah, Ito, look at it. Ito has gone sort of left-sided attacker now.
Yeah.
Sakai going into the right wing-back.
I actually feel that Kamada's been the best Japanese player. That's a weird one. Unless he's carrying an injury or he's completely out of energy, I don't know. But he has been. Everything good that's happened has come through him. The pace is challenging everything.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say is Moriyasu in this tournament, the Japanese manager, has pretty much got it right every single time. So he'll probably prove us wrong again. But you're right. It's sort of okay, right. Let's see how that works then. So Junior Ito playing on the left now. Asano through the middle. Doan is still out there. And Substitute Sakai. His luminous yellow boots playing in the right wing back position. Just 15 minutes remaining of the 90. extra time at the moment beckons. 7 o'clock kickoff tonight. Brazil against South Korea with Ian Dennis and Chris Sutton, your commentary team for that one. Vardiol heads the ball away. Moved forward by Tomiyasu. Modric, his header. 50-50, that becomes on the halfway line. Japan given the free kick for the foul on Endo. Just got a little bit scrappy. You just get the feeling both teams are sort of ramping themselves up for the final 15 minutes.
What Japan did really well in the first half was stretching the pitch, not only on but also wide. And they're not doing that. They're very narrow at the moment.
Here's Mitoma. Mitoma trying to burst free from the halfway line. Sliding challenge by Kovacic. Ball can't find Pasalic, out for a throw-in for Japan on the left.
Yeah, I was saying it's also the length of the pitch. Stretch inspiration team. Stretch them on the length, on the width. Get the ball out to the wide players and then put these crosses in again. And they were threatening in the first half doing that. They haven't done that at all in the second half.
Mitoma, right on the halfway line on the left, takes the throw. Yoshida, always tackled by Budimir. That falls for Perisic. This is danger for Japan. Here's Perisic, running at Tomiyasu, hits the shot. Just wide from the left foot. Took a touch on the way through, corner Croatia.
Really, really, really good defending by Yoshida. So Perisic is running directly to goal. He's lining up a shot, and he fires it away. It just gets in, gets a little leg on it, and it goes out for a corner kick. Had he not touched that ball, that was going in the top corner.
Yeah.
Great defending by Yoshida.
I appreciate the views, everyone. Love for the votes on the poll as well.
Sandro Martinez with one, Gvardiol with another. That's another important one from Yoshida. 13 minutes to play. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Corner Croatia. Modric with his right foot curls that into the near post. Perisic jumps the ball, lots up in here. Pasalic nods it down. Barisic trying to get the shot away. That is a fabulous and brave clearance inside the penalty area. Not sure it was Doan who got it away, and he's taken a whack for his pains as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's given a free kick for that, but we'll see it now.
Ball bounces loose, doesn't it? Doan gets there, and then is he kicked by Barisic?
I'm not sure.
You know what, Barisic also might even have half the claim for getting caught himself there, but the referee's decided free kick Japan. Still 1-1. Sort of nervous tension around this stadium at the moment.
Yeah, well, again, though, it's a very, very interesting phase of the game that we're moving into now. That's 12 minutes on the clock to go. What do? Do you go for it? Do you take your chances with extra time? At the moment, if I was Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I'd go for it. It's there for them. They look to be in control. I've said this before. They look to be in control. They also look like they're creating more. The substitutions that he's made up front, he's put Perisic on, Budimir on. It's made a difference.
Endo is fouled by Brozovic. Brozovic not happy with the decision. Referee comes over to explain it. Free kick for Japan. The delivery into the Croatian penalty area all night has been of really high quality. So I think Croatia's defenders need to be on their toes. Noise levels go up again. Doan is over there. Ito is over there. If he takes it, it'll be right foot. Doan would be the in-swinger with the left foot. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Playing for a place in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Quarterfinals which will start on Friday. And actually, whichever team gets through, they're involved in the first one on Friday. 3 o'clock kickoff. Ito with his right foot. Delivery comes into the box just over Yoshida's head. It might fall to Matoma. Good first touch. Croatian player in front of him. Nice from Tomiyasu. Cuts it back. I thought he was going to hit the shot. He should have hit the sixpence.
What a great ball in Tomiyasu. He didn't know that he was free, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. His instinct was to cross the ball. He should have had a shot.
Yeah.
That was an opportunity. You don't get many of them in these kind of games.
No, I think you're right.
Got to take them.
He didn't know. He just didn't know, and he just immediately went for the cutback. That one might run through to Asano. Just evades his right boot. Levakovic picks it up. So 10 minutes to go precisely, plus added time, and then possibly extra time if it remains this way. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Hope you're enjoying it on 5 Live, on BBC Sounds, World Cup Daily Podcast. If you're not already subscribed to that, that's available every morning for you, rounding everything up. Best reaction, debate, analysis on everything going on at this World Cup. England have been doing media duties today, so there'll be plenty of that in there for you. Also talk about Jude Bellingham again today. Right-footed ball from Brozovic forward, easily intercepted by Ito. Chance for Japan to come on the counter. Asano, trying to slide it through to Matoma on the left-hand side. Good interception. Pasalic plays it to the right to Juranovic. Looking for Modric. Endo climbs above him. That's a foul.
Reece James has returned back to full Chelsea training. Full Chelsea team training. Reece James will be back on the 27th. You get me? We got literally 3 weeks, 22 days until we're back in action. Reece James will be available in that match. Let's go.
Croatia in possession. Red and white check shirts down beneath us. Attacking the goal away to our right. Juranovic drives the cross in. Goalkeeper Gonda comes a long way to the edge of his penalty area. Good catch.
Seriously good goalkeeping there. So this is where Croatia, you can see that deliberately do that. They're challenging Japan's defense with crosses from anywhere, really.
Looks like this game's going to be going extra time, man.
So what you need in these kind of situations is your goalkeeper to come out and kick them out of the air. It just gives so much confidence to your defenders.
Long clearance downfield from Gonda actually caught Asano offside. Free kick for Croatia. It was interesting actually when Gonda had the ball in his hands. Sakai, the right wingback, took off at 100 miles an hour, wanted Gonda to go long. Hit one of those 70-yarders down the right. Actually, Perisic could have been caught out. Juranovic's ball forward to the edge of the box, getting really nervy now. Last 10 minutes of the game. Yoshida is fouled. Japan 1, Croatia 1.
Yoshida's played really well today. Not only did he deliver an assist for the goal, but his defending has been very, very good. I kind of feel that he's the only one who can defend against the two big guys up front for Croatia Palace to Budimir. But he reads the game well. And
Japan to win on penalties. Big shout still.
Gonda, Japanese goalkeeper, all in yellow. Headed away. Modric flicks a little header in towards Brozovic.
Japan definitely deserves so far to win the game. I believe they played better throughout the whole match. But Croatia have been a lot better in the second half.
But Modric straight to the ball. Run being made by Pasalic down the right. Modric ignores that. Goes low to his left to Gvardiol. 7 minutes plus added time away from the first period of extra time at World Cup 2022. Pasalic comes in from the right-hand side. Just lays it off to Modric. Modric dummies across with his right foot. Juni Ito thinks he's got him covered. Plays back to the
Graham Rogers. I appreciate the comment. And they deserve to be winning right now. If they go through, they deserve it. God, they've been playing better than Croatia.
Saw the challenge coming in, played it to Brozovic.
So it would be one of the big upsets still.
Beats Marita, low passing defeat of Kovacic.
He's on the bench, I believe. He hasn't come on.
To Perisic, he's got Juranovic behind him, swings a couple of lazy dummy legs over the ball. It's almost worked, and Perisic gets the 1-2, but it comes off his left boot and goes behind for a goal kick.
Perisic is having a really, really good game, but I think he should stay on the left-hand side.
They still got him to come off the bench. So, boy, that's another dangerous substitute.
That was a really good passage of play. Very patient by Croatia. A lot of this was organised and orchestrated by Modric, and it was just a little heavy touch from Perisic that took it out for a goal kick.
Asano onto a flick on. Japanese fans excited inside the stadium. Asano looking a bit Gvardiol for pace. Great defending, just runs his body in the way. Asano can't beat him, and Croatia get the goal kick.
They must have had a serious word about how they defended in the first half. Because second
yeah,
half,
but appreciate the comments though.
Croatia, absolutely fantastic. They've stopped the crosses. Apart from one time on the left-hand side, they've stopped the crosses and they've been in full control of everything. Croatia's they have been the better side in this second half for sure.
5 minutes to play. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Previous World Cups in terms of knockout games between Asian teams and European teams from the Asian Confederation and UEFA. There have been 9 of them. South Korea, so far in World Cup history, the only team to come out on top twice when they co-hosted in 2002, beat Italy and Spain on their way to the semi-finals. Japan still well in this at 1-1. The ball's run out of play from Ito. And the manager comes across and says, look, we've had this before. The whole ball didn't cross the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was out, but I'm not in a position to say 100%. But it didn't look, from up here, it didn't look like it was out.
No. That was one of the big moments of controversy in this World Cup, of course. Yoshida again, the rock for Japan at the back, clears with his left foot, headed forward by Brozovic, falls to Kovacic, great first touch, tries to run away from Tomiyasu, Perisic back on the left, kills the cross, heading down wide. Pasalic was there, couldn't get enough on the head.
That's one about Croatia's only got these big guys. They can definitely be winning the headers, man.
It's a little bit too high. You only go just touch it when it went out for a goal kick.
Now this game, of course, 6 o'clock kickoff local time. If the 10 o'clock kickoffs local time go into extra time and penalties, that ends up being a very, very late night in Doha. Another Japanese substitution about to be made. And it's
Minamino's coming on now.
Minamino, formerly of Liverpool, now of Monaco, is going to be coming on for super sub. Ritsu Doan, who was the starter today and was involved in that Japan goal. Brilliant cross in, and he's been a threat all evening again. So, Minamino on, 3.5 minutes of the 90 to go, and we are still level pegging here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Well, I think it's going to go extra time.
Playing for a place in the quarterfinals. Ball is chested down by Asano. Ito tries to keep it in play on the right. Guardiola is there. Hooks it away with his right foot. Kovacic exchanges the 1-2 with Perisic. Perisic on the spin, outside of his right foot. Looking to release the ball to Budimir. Budimir will chase it, but cleared by Gonda. Not the best clearance. Finds Morita. He turns it round the corner to Sakai, who lays the ball back into his own half. Endo is fouled. Free kick Japan. If you have been listening to us, by the way, at work on the way back from work in the UK this evening, and we do get extra time. Pictures are on BBC One of this game. If you go to the iPlayer and you want our commentary with those pictures, you can do that via World Cup Extra. Japan 1, Croatia 1. I think Peter Schmeichel very wisely didn't make a prediction ahead of the game because we just felt, didn't we, Peter, that it was exactly as it proved, too tight to call.
When you get to this stage, it is, and in all fairness, if you go by the group games, you just don't know who played the best football. That's another mistake by the referee now. He's giving a foul away. It's a cross-field pass, and I don't think, I can't see what Japanese player was. I just cannot see that he did anything wrong.
It's Sakai jumping for a header, and Barisic doesn't jump, he just stands there, doesn't make a challenge for the ball, takes the contact and goes down. A few cheap free kicks being won by both teams. Here's Brozovic inside the centre circle. We're into the 89th minute of this game now. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Perisic is frustrated. He made a run down the left. He's got to get himself back on side like a petulant child stomping back into position. Here's Brozovic to Modric. Modric again looks up, scanning left and right. Low bouncing pass across to Juranovic. Closed down by Matoma, who's fresh in that left wing back position for Japan. Moriyasu, the manager.
2 minutes plus added time remaining.
His team going head to head against top European opposition at this World Cup. Down Germany and Spain in the group stages, now holding Croatia. Perisic chases his own header forward down the left, and the ball goes out of play for a throw into Japan.
Yeah, we are at that stage now where Japan scored in the first half, so we've got a minute to go in this second half. If I was a Croatian coach, I would feel that there was an opportunity missed here to win the game in ordinary time. And now,
90th minute, Mateo nearly got away on the halfway line. Brozovic is there, forward to Modric. Could Japan be caught out? Modric playing through the lines here. Budimir lays it off to Kovacic. The flag stays down. Japan thought that might have been offside. Sakai clears with his right foot. That's a Croatian sandwich there on Ito, who's clattered.
Kovacic got booked.
I told you, Peter, the way he delivers those yellow cards, very dramatic.
Very dramatic, very entertaining. He's giving, I think it's Brozovic who gets it. No, it's Kovacic.
Yeah, who is it gets the yellow? Kovacic.
He keeps one of them. It's actually 2 Croatian players who tackles, or makes a tackle on
Ito.
Is it Ito?
Yeah.
And he gives one of them a yellow card.
Yeah.
And they were equally bad. Kovacic's got the yellow card.
Yeah.
It could have been any of them. Am I right in saying that's the first yellow card of the game?
Yeah, it
4
is,
minutes
because
at a time.
Like I said at the start of the game, I was talking about the way that this referee delivers them with a real flourish. It's the first time we've seen it. Kovacic's not on a booking already in the competition. He's okay. I meant to say at the start of the game, Modric is the one who has to be careful, because if he gets a yellow card in this game, he would then miss a quarter-final if Croatia go through potentially against Brazil, or of course South Korea, unless they could pull off the upset. Additional time just went up on the big screen. 4 minutes to be played, and then it'll be extra time. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Another, it's getting so bitty this game. Free kick Croatia, aerial challenge again from Sakai, again on Barisic, and Barisic wins the decision.
But what's really amazing as well is that when in the group stages, we saw 10 and 14 minutes added on, and now we're in this period, the knockout stages, and we're back to normal again.
Yeah.
It's 4 minutes added on.
Yeah, because we've got another 30 minutes to come. Probably. Imagine that, 14 minutes of added time, then another 30,
Oh my God.
and then a shootout. Really, I mean, if it does go to a shootout, throw in from the left for Croatia by Perisic, that's a foul by Budimir. On Yoshida, free kick Japan. Really looking forward to having finished my
I appreciate the views
just
of
to try and get
you.
into the goalkeepers' heads for a World Cup. You must have, I mean, in fact, in the Euros, Peter,
Yeah.
which you won, there were some big ones, weren't they, for which Denmark won?
We yes, in the Euros '92, we faced Holland with penalty shootout. Yeah, I've been in a few. It's still a long way to go.
Yes,
before
there
we
is.
end up with a shootout here.
Yeah, we'll save all that expertise, possibly for about 40 minutes' time. Peter Schmeichel with us on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds. On a knife edge, this one, Japan 1, Croatia 1. Croatia winning the ball inside their own half. Brozovic has Modric to his right, ignores him. Plays to Juranovic, back to Modric. Croatia have only made 2 substitutions so far. 3 left, 2 Dalic. Japan have made 4, just the 1 left for them in the second half. Pasalic, back to Brozovic. 2 minutes to play, 4 extra time. Modric across the halfway line. Belgium, of course, scored a very late winner against Japan in the last 16. In Russia, Gvardiol's played the ball straight out of play, throw in for Japan on the right. 90 seconds to go. Is anyone going to be brave in this last bit of the game, or are we settling possibly for...
It looks like both teams are settling for extra time. I would still say that Croatia should maybe have pushed it a little bit and tried to get that winner, because they had the upper hand for a very long time.
Japan's number 10, Minamino on the ball. A minute to play. Last minute of added time. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Taniguchi across to Yoshida. Yoshida plays to his right-hand side. Tomiyasu comes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Gonda. Gonda and Lubakovic will be 2 key players if we go all the way to penalties. Driven ball. What a ball from Gonda. For Mitoma, who collects that by the corner flag. Attacking position on the left for Japan. He's being forced back here by Juranovic. He's held on to it. They've almost come back to the halfway line. Taniguchi plays across. 30 seconds to go. Can Japan get one more excellent delivery into that Croatian penalty area? Mitoma outside of his right foot, looking for the run of Minamino. Look who's there. Modric covers it off, slides in and blocks the pass.
He's been incredible today, Modric. He's been here, there, and everywhere.
Extra time's looking like.
As much as he does, and read the danger. He's done that a couple of times today. Read the danger and save the day for Croatia.
10 seconds to play by
I think
Tomiyasu plays to his right. Here's Saka.
I think it will be like
Referee puts the whistle to his lips.
3-2 France, in my opinion. I feel like the attack of France can definitely penetrate England's defense, especially considering Senegal could have gone 1-0 up or a couple goals up yesterday if they finished their chances. But England, their attack as well, and France's defense has been looking shaky this whole entire World Cup. So I definitely expect England to score goals. So I'm going for a 3-2 France win, because I feel like, France just have more. They have the more of the it factor in Mbappe. He'll be the difference.
On the way for the right to meet Brazil or South Korea in the quarterfinals. 90 minutes played. Japan 1, Croatia 1.
Alistair Bruce Ball and Peter Schmeichel, thank you very much.
But yeah, that's my prediction still.
Very, very
What about you?
It's one of those games that's probably better listened to on the radio, where there's a rounded form of chat, than actually watched. Not the most dramatic of 90 minutes between Japan and Croatia, but the next 30 minutes will decide
who goes into a place either against Brazil or South Korea in the quarterfinals. We'll get the rest of the day's sports headlines. I'll be back at the Al-Janoub Stadium after the BBC News with Richard Foster.
Full time Japan. Hold on a second. Where's my remote? But yeah, man. Yeah, that's my prediction. Still 3-2 France. Mm-hmm. All right. Extra time due to start still.
Today, many have made similar promises and are also going in search of their first World Cup. I'll be watching the game from hospital and rooting for each one of you. Good luck as Brazil get set to face South Korea. Your commentator for that one will be Ian Dennis. Deno, Brazil bidding for a place in the quarters, South Korea the team trying to stop them.
Yes, and of course Brazil without Gabriel Jesus and Alex Telles, who've both been ruled out for the tournament. They've got injury doubts over Danilo and Alexandro as well. But Neymar, who's missed the last two matches, could return after an ankle injury, while South Korea will hope that the Napoli defender Kim Min-jae will be back from injury to bolster their defence.
Deno, thank you very much. We will, of course, be live to the 974 Stadium for a 7 o'clock kickoff between Brazil and South Korea. The winner of that one will face the winner of Japan against Croatia. They couldn't be separated after 90 minutes. That game finished 1-1. Japan took the lead. Perisic with an equaliser for Croatia. Had the striker, who also plays beach volleyball for Croatia, spiked Japan's chances of reaching the quarter-finals. With you for extra time, Peter Schmeichel and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, Kelly. Perfect timing as well. The whistle blows, 30 minutes, and if they're still level after that, then we're into a penalty shootout this evening. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Just talking about famous number 10, the likes of Pele and possibly Neymar back in action for Brazil this evening. Really important number 10s both out there now for these two nations. Luka Modric, of course, in the half of the Croatian midfield, but Takumi Minamino, great player for Japan, been used in little bits as a sub at this tournament, out there now. Japan all in blue. They've already made 4 changes, so just one substitution left available to them for this period of extra time. Croatia have made just the two, so 3 available to Zlatko Dalic. Japan in the blue shirts, yellow numbers on their backs, blue shorts and blue socks, red and white trim all over the kit, playing from left to right. Big roar as the whistle blew for the start of extra time, and then that nervous tension, you can feel it again. Lovely ball across here towards Sakai in Japan in the first corner of this first period of extra time.
Second, first half of extra time has started.
Keeping wide those cross-field passes that we saw in the first half as well, that led to some of the crosses that Croatia they were struggling with dealing with. This was a great cross-field pass, and
this setup, Peter, is how they scored, wasn't it? Corner from the right, and Minamino's in the Doan position here. But let's see what Ito does.
Now say France will win.
It looks like he's just going to
Yeah,
deliver it in with his right foot. He does. It's an away swing. Flicked header, but the angle was too tight there, and Taniguchi couldn't get that ball on target. That has gone behind for a goal kick. So Japan 1, Croatia 1. Japan now, having made the 4 changes, Gonda in goal, Tomiyasu, Yoshida, Taniguchi, the 3 centre-backs, Sakai on as right-back, Karu Matoma of Brighton is the left wing-back, Endo and Morita in central midfield, Minamino, Asano and Junior Ito are the front 3. Livakovic, Croatia's goalkeeper, clears. It's a brilliant leap and header from Yoshida, and Brozovic plays the ball to Juranovic, who's the right-back, Barisic, left-back, Lovren and Gvardiol, the 2 centre-backs. Still Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic, who's on the yellow card, as the midfield 3 for Croatia. Long ball forward there, goes all the way behind for a Japanese goal kick. And their 2 changes have come up front. So Mario Pasalic has come on, Perisic wide on the left, the goal scorer, and Ante Budimir, who is playing as the centre forward.
yeah, both of them, when they came on, they had an impact. And Croatia changed the way of playing a little bit by actually kicking a few balls up to them, keeping the Japanese defence under pressure. And the goal, of course, came from that as well. A pass from Lovren into Perisic, who scored with an absolutely unbelievable header.
Pace on that header. Tomiyasu clears with his right foot. Brozovic chests it down, goes for the Modric ball with the outside of his right boot, easily intercepted by Taniguchi. And here comes Japan at speed down the left-hand side. Minamino just making a run beyond here. Into the penalty area it goes. Asano can't control it. Barisic is able to clear with his left foot, but Endo is there first for Japan. Endo wide on the left-hand side, plays back to the halfway line towards Yoshida. Yoshida across to Taniguchi. Taniguchi plays to his left. Minamino gets involved. And Japan again just come out to go from left to right. And here's Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's got Sakai wide on his right, lofts one over the top. Gvardiol heads it away, bounces in front of Brozovic, heads it to his right. Modric lets it run across his body, nudges it down the line for Pasalic. Taniguchi's there, and he wins the throw for Japan.
It's exciting every time Japan they presses the accelerator and actually come at Croatia with a little bit of pace. The crowd begins to roar, and it's just a little final detail, you know, the concentration on the final pass that lets them down.
Another good example there, actually. Just heard
I appreciate the views, everyone, and the votes on the poll. Love for that.
The pass from Minamino, which took a deflection, but as we keep saying tonight, the delivery from the set pieces and the crosses in open play has been very, very good for Japan. They've worked on some clever moves as well. Here comes Minamino to offer himself for the short one again. 4.5 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. 5 live in BBC Sounds. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Minamino's curling cross having received the short corner into the far post. Tomiyasu is up, Plasher heads. Referee immediately blows the whistle. Tomiyasu is down, so one of the Croatian defenders. So we've got to get the medical team on the field as quickly as we possibly can. We hope they're okay.
They have some really good corner kicks routine. This was a different one as well. Again, a short corner, and they came back in. Back to the guy who I couldn't see who took the corner, and that crossing just gets that little bit of movement in the box, and that was not a bad cross. It was very well defended, but Yoshida, it was a fantastic. I don't know what the referee's doing now.
I tell you, if Pasalic took a knock on the head, he was the one who went down. He's picked himself up and he's run up field to get in position. The referee said no, because you went down, you're going to have to go off, to come back on. And what about Tomiyasu? Yeah, he's got to do the same. So we've got Pasalic over on the pass.
Did he get treatment?
That's a good point, actually, Peter. I'm not sure he did. I think he picked himself up before they got
there. Is that
there.
a new rule then? Now they both come on.
We're on.
Oh my God.
We're back to where we were. Don't worry. Guardiol's ball down the left-hand side. Perisic, the goal scorer for Croatia, flicks the ball on. Great night for him tonight. Obviously won't be if they don't go through, but in terms of personal milestones, 10 goals in major tournaments, which has him out in front on his own for his nation, going beyond the great Davor Šuker. Here's Guardiol. He's got so much promise as a young Croatian international. Perisic with a first-time ball, opening his body up. Perisic can't keep it in wide on the left. And the ball goes out for a throw into Japan in the right-back position. I was just saying to you before we came back on for the second half, sometimes 30 minutes of extra time can be absolutely brilliant ding-dong football. Other times, not much happens, and we get to penalties.
Yeah, and you know, you're so close to getting into a quarterfinal, and yet you're so far away. So even being on the pitch, it's very, very difficult to sort of strike the balance of what you're going to do. Are you going to go full in? Are you going to be a little bit sort of reluctant? Are you going to be passive defensive? What are you going to do? Where is your belief? What do you feel? And I said this towards the end of the second half. I kind of felt that Croatia had an opportunity to just push a little bit on, and then maybe create an opportunity that could have stopped them going into this. To score a goal and actually won it in normal time. This opens it up, Croatia, to anything really.
Yeah, Croatia getting ready to make the double change. Lovro Majer and Nikola Vlasic, formerly of Everton and West Ham. Machida under pressure, edge of the box. Budimir tries to block his pass away. Endo also struggling to get it clear. Morita is caught by Modric. That'll be a free kick for Japan. So Vlasic, who actually started the first game, still belongs to West Ham.
Appreciate everyone who was. Who's coming off? It's Modric.
You're right. Modric, who has scored in both the penalty shootout in the World Cup 4 years
Oh my
ago
God.
on Croatia's
Croatia taking off Modric.
Yeah, armband is coming off. Wow.
Oh, that was number 10 coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. That is a really, really interesting change made by the manager Zlatko Dalic. Kovacic and Modric are coming off. Vlasic and Lovro Majer of Rennes are coming on. I mean, Kovacic and Modric, I would have thought, not only could they seriously impact extra time, but penalty time. I mean, Modric would absolutely 100% be a penalty taker. High five with the manager, absolutely no complaints. Model professional Luka Modric. If they lose this game,
He might just think, that he's running out of steam.
yeah,
And then what's the point of keeping him on? If for the penalties, if he's running out of steam and Japan,
Match finish, isn't it?
Extra time.
yeah.
Oh, they've gone
still
extra.
time to go, actually,
It's knockouts.
in this.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that it went extra though. I thought the game was over.
Here in Japan, trying to make something happen into the
If
Croatian
it's
penalty
knockout
area.
rounds.
Perisic with a pass that no one in particular.
No, I know it's a knockout round, but I'm saying I thought the game had finished and I was coming to see who the winner was.
Oh,
That's the point I'm saying. I
okay,
didn't know what the
no,
scores
yeah,
was
yeah,
before
it was
that.
1-1. Japan took the lead.
Goalkeeping gloves, man.
They've been playing better, but Croatia, as the game's gone on longer, they've been dominating more.
Serious business now. So
Minute by minute.
them people that travelled all the way there, I think they travelled there for nothing. They want to get as much as they can. They get more ratings the further they go in the competition.
Gonda, the Japanese goalkeeper, plays with his right foot.
When they get more
Stunning
ratings.
save in the second half. And the Modric strike that's heading for the top corner, and Endo has passed the ball. So
That's just Corona got
That's a
there.
strike that could have been the goal.
Maria got that.
Say that again?
A
Maria
great
got that.
save that was.
When is she bad?
We've seen pictures here of Modric coming
The
out.
couple,
Vida,
maybe give it to that maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
who's now
Since I come back?
a substitute.
Yeah, I think so.
He's
Yeah.
So I should be trying to encourage you to do something.
He played really well today. I'm
I
impressed.
do something.
To be able to do what he's been doing in this game, which is not just playing, not just creating, not just being the meister of Croatia's attacking play. He's also defended well. He's read 2 situations where he came back. He was the last man who got a tackle in. And there's no wonder that he's tired. He's 37 years old,
Long throw into the Japanese penalty area. Might drop in. Perisic on the right foot. Sakai blocks it. Left foot volley from Perisic was optimistic. Struck it well. That one's also blocked. Goes out for a throw in to Croatia on the left. Luka Modric has played in major tournaments in 3 different decades for Croatia, which in itself is ridiculous.
Incredible. And, you know, when he retires and the documentary comes out, 10-part documentary on one of the streaming services, you know, that's going to be some viewing. He's got some stories. Incredible history he's got.
Japanese substitutes. This ref, Japanese substitute influenced the ref to make Croatia take the throw about 2 yards back down the left-hand touchline. I don't know why he's getting involved in that, because he didn't make the decision on his own accord there, and now Japan win a free kick in their right back position. Modric is talking about playing the Euros in 2024 at the age of 39 as well, Peter. So
he's fit. We've seen that today. He's fit. He might not be able to go 120 minutes, but he can certainly go 90 minutes. And there's no point in the 90 minutes where you feel, oh, you've got to take him off because now he's just, you know, he's not doing his job. He's fit for 90 minutes, no doubt about that. He's a small guy as well. He's always been very, very fit. And, you know, if he looks after himself, why not? Show me another 2 years. It's not unrealistic to play Euros when you're 39.
Livakovic rolls the ball out for Croatia. So we've got 3 minutes remaining in this first period of extra time on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Japan won, Croatia won, and not much has happened in terms of sort of action in the goal mouths. In this first period of extra time. It's got very cagey. Down the left, the ball is played. Vlasic is on his knees trying to keep it. Endo eventually takes it off. It looks for the pass down the right-hand side. Asano can't get beyond Guardiola. Guardiola holds him off, plays back to his goalkeeper.
We saw a little bit of the what's in you know, wait for when we see this Guardiola player, when we see him go forward. He was on the turn against a really, really quick player. But he was quicker than him.
Yeah.
And that is something that, you know, the big clubs were looking at when they look at defenders. Are they quick on the turn?
Oh, Asano, loose header. Pasalic not able to get onto it. Matoma there for Japan. Plays back to his goalkeeper, Gonda. It's exactly what we were talking about. Just one slip, one mistake, one risk too many. And it could cost him in this last 16 game. Now a chance for Croatia to bring it in from the right-hand side. That's the other substitute, Lovro Maya. Ren player, signed... not this season, season before, to replace Eduardo Camavinga here with France, now at Real Madrid. Maya dummies across, started the first game of this tournament for Croatia, now off the bench in extra time, still 1-1. Brozovic on the ball, 15 yards inside the Japanese half, and they play back to the centre-back. Lovren across to Barisic. Barisic gets an early cross in from deep. That is headed away by Taniguchi, chested down on the edge of the box and volleyed away by Minamino. And can Croatia keep that in play? Yes, Juranovic runs hard and does so. Talking about Luka Modric at 39, let's not forget Jimmy Anderson at the age of 40 has been part of that amazing first test win for England over in Pakistan today. Test match special podcast with all the news and interviews for you, available via the BBC Sounds app. Tomiyasu clears, chested down majestically by Lovren, laid off to Brozovic, looking for the slide pass through, intercepted by Tomiyasu, breaks nicely for Minamino, bit of space to work with. Matoma takes over. Matoma's got 2 players ahead of him to his right-hand side. Matoma going to go into the box. Oh, Livakovic blocks it with both hands.
Went straight at him, fam.
From the edge of the box, blocked by Brozovic.
Went straight at him, fam.
For Croatia just yet. Sakai, ball into the near post. Guardiola heads it away. Tomiyasu jumps, heads it across goal. Volleyed effort from the edge of the box. That is blocked. And I think that's going to run behind. Corner to
last minute of the first half of extra time. Japan could get a goal. Would they though?
The end shot is actually straight at the goalkeeper. So there's no problem for that. But what a great attack that was. And this is where Croatia's got to be very, very careful. Don't give the ball away in the situations that they did there, because that's what Japan can do. They can hurt you on the counter. We've seen that against Germany. We've seen it against Spain.
Right at the end of the first period of extra time, Japanese corner, Matoma away swinger. Ball loose inside that Croatian box again. Endo plays it back out to the right. Rolled back by Ito, no pace at all on that. Minamino takes his time, crossing with his left foot, headed back across goal. Guardiola underneath it, knocks it straight up in the air. Livakovic says my ball.
2 minutes of added time.
Clean catch, like a cricketer out on the boundary, watching it all the way into his arms, and it looks like we are going to reach the end of the first period of extra time level. Still 1-1.
That's 2 added minutes to this first period of extra time, and that was an opportunity for Japan. There are a couple of good crosses in there after the initial shot, And it just shows you that they're still there. It hasn't looked like that for a long time in this game. But don't give them an inch, because they will get opportunities out of that.
That's what they've done in this tournament. In those famous wins against Germany and Spain. Brozovic wide on the right inside the Japanese half, curling ball in towards Budimir, brings that down brilliantly at full stretch, plays it back here to Vlasic. Vlasic, socks rolled down. Ball out to the right, cross in from Brozovic towards the far post, headed away by Sakai, falls to a teammate Ito in midfield. Sakai, having won the header, makes a brilliant run to get onto that pass, and here comes Japan, caught up from the centre forward. Sano gets away from him, and Lovren's able to play it back to Kovacic.
Well played by Lovren. He read that situation really well. That could have been a dangerous situation as well, but Lovren, I criticised him a little bit in the first half for being, in between positions and not in the right spot most of the time, but he's really played well in the second half. And of course, the equalising goal came from a cross by Lovren.
20 seconds remaining, end of the first period of extra time. In that break, in that little half-time break, going to draw up the old penalty grid on the back of the commentary notes to get ready for it. Whistle goes. So Japan won, Croatia won. Livakovic with the pretty comfortable save, you would have to say, from the Mitoma shot. Japanese players immediately come to the touchline, taking loads of fluids on board. Croatian players dragging themselves towards their dugout as well. 15 more minutes to go. Kelly, Japan won, Croatia won.
You say that with such relish in your voice, Sally, that there's 15 more minutes of this game to go. Peter, it has petered out slightly.
Yeah, I think right here at the end of this first period, it livened up a little bit. This counter-attack by Japan that ended in a shot, and eventually they got a corner kick out and a few crosses in. It must have given them a little bit of
extra time.
Because they have been pegged back. They have been under pressure from Croatia, who's played very patiently, and when the opportunity showed themselves, put these difficult crosses in that the big guys up front, Perisic, Budimir, that they dealt with quite well. But in fact, for the first period, it was Japan who came out on top. And again, now they have to make a decision. Because penalties, it's a lottery. What are you going to do? Are we going to go for it now? There are some very tired legs out there. Even though there's air conditioning in the stadium, it's still very hot. It's very humid, and you get tired very easy. So what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes? It's going to be interesting to wait and see.
Going to be very interesting, especially with penalties to come, and no Luka Modric on the field because Croatia have made a substitution at 7 minutes into this period of added time, and Japan huddled at the side of the pitch as one player makes his way over a little bit late because they've made a substitution as well, Ali.
Yes, well spotted, Kelly. I haven't even seen that myself. Tanaka is coming on. That is their last change in central midfield, and he comes on for Hidemasa Morita. So we are 15 minutes away from a penalty shootout. Ao Tanaka started both the wins against Germany and Spain. Scored the winner, of course. Actually, it was off his knee, wasn't it? That winner against Spain, the controversial one, the cutback from Mitoma from the byline. And Croatia are also going to make a double change. Marko Livaya is coming on to offer a forward threat, as is Mislav Orsic as well. Wonder if they may well take some penalties for Croatia. Budimir only came on quite late in the game.
Maybe he's not a penalty taker.
That could be it, couldn't it? Livaya on for Budimir. And
it's a strange one because he's actually played quite well.
Yeah.
He might be carrying something that we don't know about.
Here's Mitoma getting away from Pasalic down the left-hand side. Japan won, Croatia won, playing for a place in the quarterfinals of this World Cup. The quarterfinals we already know. Netherlands, Argentina, 7 o'clock on Friday. England, France, 7 o'clock on Saturday. All of them in full coverage of every match for you on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Brazil, South Korea is our commentary from 7 o'clock this evening with Ian Dennis and Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton, a player Peter must have come up against during his career. Remember Chris?
Yeah, I'm still a little bit sore.
And throw in on the left for Japan. which Mitoma will take. Peter and I both still scribbling down all these changes. I think that's it now, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Extra one. Extra time being able to be made. So Croatia have done theirs. Ball is back with Yoshida. Yoshida with his right foot plays the ball up the middle of the pitch. Now Kovacic reads it well. Not only makes the interception, continues his run forward and looks for the pass down the left-hand side to Mislav Orsic. Didn't find it here in Japan.
He must have gotten enough, Budimir, because it's a weird one. If you're making the substitution because of the penalty shootout, you would wait, wouldn't you? You'd think you'd wait at least 5-7 minutes.
Perisic, the other player to go off, of course, who again I would have fancied, with his experience, his skills to take a penalty. But those are the changes Zlatko Dalic has made.
But he's 33 years old. He's run up and down, up and down, up and down. He's really played a good game. And when you play in the wing, you are up and down literally all the time. And he might just be tired.
13 minutes to play. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Peter Schmeichel with us here live in the Al Janoub Stadium, this distinctive, futuristic ground, which I think looks a bit like, from the outside, the sort of aerial shot, the external shot, a bit like a sort of a cycling, aerodynamic kind of cycling helmet that you see those riders wear inside the velodrome. Ball cleared into the Croatian half. Juranovic clears with his right foot, headed away by Taniguchi. Pasalic will try and keep it in on the right-hand side. Manages to do so, then trying to muscle his way past Mitoma. He's bigger than Mitoma, but didn't have the balance. Mitoma sets off down the left-hand side. He's chased by Meyer. Drags it back, plays the ball into midfield. That's a stretch, but Japan are able to keep that with Tanaka, who's on for this second period of extra time, so he'll certainly be fresh. Tanaka plays across to Tomiyasu. Wide to the right-hand side to Sakai. Back to Tomiyasu again. Are either team going to be brave enough here, really, to take a risk, press forward, and try and find themselves a goal? 1-1.
In terms of system, Croatia's not changed anything. They're playing precisely the same system as they played in the first minute.
Sakai's ball finds the edge of the area, right-footed pass. Vardiol gets a block on it, headed forward to the edge of the box. Cushion pass by Tanaka out to the right, too much on it. And Sakai can't keep it in, throwing Croatia in their left-back position.
Yeah, there was a good opportunity for Mitoma. I think he picked the wrong option there. He could have had a shot. It would actually be more natural. He just cut inside and have a shot. But he tried to cross the ball, and it was behind all his teammates, and Croatia could clear the ball quite easily.
11 minutes remaining. Time ticking away. We're heading towards a penalty shootout as it stands. Japan 1, Croatia 1. So stay tuned on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. I know that's no fun if you're a Japanese fan or a Croatian fan, but for the neutrals, they love them. Free kick Croatia inside their own half. The goalkeepers nowadays, of course, Peter, will have the little notes, won't they? They've done all the studying on who goes where and who does what. And
yeah, well, very true.
Yeah. Mind games.
Mind games.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
We've still got time.
You keep reminding me. Brozovic plays to the left. The ball up in the air, got scrappy again. Barisic blocks it, throwing for Japan on the right-hand side. Sakai wanted Yoshida to run into space for him. Yoshida's saying, look, I'm one of the old ones as well. I'm absolutely gassed here, so I'm not going to do that. And Sakai continues to wait to take the throw. Then Yoshida makes the run, volleys it forward, and Japan might be able to work something here. The ball across the halfway line from Minamino, wide to Mitoma. Mitoma drops the shoulder onto his right foot, looking for that slide pass to Minamino, intercepted. Meyer plays it back towards Juranovic. Under a bit of pressure, Croatia's right back does well. Plays with his right foot. Easy header won by Taniguchi. The ball bounces loose. Vardiol is there first. Lobs it up in the air. Pasalic bumps into a couple of Japanese defenders. Chance now for Meyer to get away down the right-hand side. And Croatia are getting bodies in the box. I can see Vlasic in there for one. Pasalic as well. Cross to the far post. Headed away.
10 minutes remaining. Oh, it's going to be going. Penalties. Penalties.
Opportunity to cross the ball in by Meyer. He hit the only Japanese player in the box. There's 2 Croatian players in there. But it turned out to be a corner. That, again, opportunity for Croatia now to score a goal.
Last 10 minutes of the game. Second period of extra time. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Corner for Croatia from the left. In it comes. Goalkeeper Gonda punches away. Gets enough on it. Spins off his gloves. Away to the left. Goes out for a throw to Croatia.
Yeah, very good goalkeeping again. You know, at the point in the game where everyone's a bit tired, and what defenders really want is for the goalkeeper to come out and control crosses, and he did that very, very well.
Juranovic takes the throw midway inside the Japanese half, so it's Croatia pressing for an extra time winner at the moment. Only shootout against Denmark, last 16 in Russia, then came through one against the host as Brozovic kills a ball in, beat England in extra time in the semi-finals. Meyer flicks it up in the air, keeps possession, starts to run to his right. Juranovic stretches to keep that ball in play. Here's Brozovic, so he's lost his buddies Modric and Kovacic, and his pass forward is blocked by Tanaka.
Kovacic came off the pitch, boy.
Time ticking down, 112 minutes, so 8 minutes to go. Japan 1, Croatia 1. 7 o'clock tonight on 5 Live. Brazil against South Korea. 2 more World Cup commentaries tomorrow from the last 16. 3 o'clock is Morocco against Spain. 7 o'clock is Portugal against Switzerland. Then you take a breath for a couple of days. And then we get into the quarterfinals on Friday. Juranovic waiting to take this throw. It'll be a long one. In it comes. Edge of the box, flicked on by Vlasic, ball is up in the air. Oh, goalkeeper gave a shout, catches it on the bounce. That was a nervous moment. Sakai did leave it as he was instructed. Quick clearance downfield from Gonda. Ito stretches. Guardiola is there again for Croatia. Goes back to the
Guardiola is there again. This guy,
down by Asano. Header one on the halfway line by Japan. Tanaka is bumped to the floor. Doesn't get the free kick. Game is suddenly opening up. At the moment in this second period of extra time, Meyer looking good on the ball, turns away from a challenge. Brozovic got to be careful. Holds off Tanaka, little 1-2 on the left with Barisic. Brozovic strokes a pass infield. Layoff from Orsic, not a good one. Couldn't find Levaya. Japan have given the ball away though. Brozovic again, just moving to his left. Vlasic is able to turn. Barisic forward, gets the cross in towards the far post. That is beyond Pasalic, chased out to the left by Mitoma. He wants to let that go. Well, Pasalic did well there. He flicked the ball onto Mitoma.
Well, yeah. Fantastically well. And he wanted throwing out of absolutely nothing. But the way he did it got the small Croatian crowd going. But it's that end. They're at that end where they're attacking now. So that's going to have a little bit of an effect on the Croatian players.
Juranovic long throw into the near post area. Dangerous flick. Tom Gonda jumps and claims it under pressure from Pasalic. Goalkeeper was favourite there. Made sure he got it. Immediately fires it downfield. Asano is chased by Gvardiol. Asano is absolutely on his own, but he does have the ball for Japan. Gvardiol right behind him. Now he's looking for support. He's done so well for his team there. Endo plays back into his own half.
Japan,
6 minutes to go.
it's been a good performance
Croatia
from
won.
the
6
team.
minutes
So.
plus added time away from the
Croatia's
first
quality is
shootout
finally showing through,
2022
dominating the
World Cup.
match for possession-wise.
Play
Well.
by Gonda. That's the second
Japan's
time he's
spirit,
got the
boy,
ball,
is still
and then
there.
straight away kicked it up the other end to Asano.
Hey.
Sorry, Peter lays it off here to Endo. Plays it to the right-hand side to Sakai. Sakai's cutback. Guardiola's there again for Croatia, reading it so well. Japan get to the loose ball inside the Croatian half. Taniguchi. Low pass to his left to find Mitoma. Mitoma has got some wonderful skills. Decides not to use them this time. Doesn't take his man on. Tanaka plays it across to the right-hand side. It's Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu down the inside right channel. Little layoff from Ito here to Endo. Endo finds space. Cross into the far post. Juranovic stretches. Heads it away. Mitoma
Yo.
Levakovic off his line. Catches the ball in both hands.
Yeah, it's a little bit of
6:45.
you know, a little bit of
6:45.
emphasis from Japan trying to score.
Oh, what, the next match?
A couple of really, really good deliveries from Gonda up towards
Five?
Asano.
Wait.
And, I think he really
5:30? No, yeah, 6 o'clock. My fault. Yeah, 6.
believe that they can do something.
All right, cool.
Big chances, but you know, a lot of intention, if you like.
Yeah. That's a brilliant tackle from Endo on Brozovic. And that's a foul on Ito from Barisic. Free kick for Japan. Barisic has actually hurt himself making the challenge. I think he'll get booked. Let's see. Is it Willie? Yeah, here we go. Look, he's going to wait the referee because he likes this moment. Peter, watch. Standing there in his bright orange shirt. Look at me. He's saying, look at me. Can everyone see me?
Oh, he's hiding.
He's hiding
the card.
He's hiding it.
Then,
Wait. I'll tell you what it needs, Peter. It needs a woo. Here we go. He's on his feet. Bang. Yellow card for Barisic.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the decision. It's more the delivery.
Yeah, the delivery, well, it's entertaining. It's entertaining. We're so close now to a penalty shootout here. Dramatic way, of course, to win a knockout tie. Absolutely heartbreaking way to lose one. And you know that one player on either team, or at least one player, is going to feel absolutely horrible by the end of this game. Kovacic bowls the ball out underarm here into the Croatian midfield. 3.5 minutes plus added time left in the game. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Juranovic plays back to Lovren. Maida's goal came just before half-time. Perisic equalised in the 56th minute. And that's where we are right now. Guardiola crosses the halfway line. Japan had all of their players behind the ball. Croatia attacking, looking for this dramatic late winner.
It's an extraordinary tactic, but just because we've done it 4 years ago, you know, we take it into extra time and then penalties we've gone through, that you're doing that again. I won't say they do this on purpose.
Crossing from Guardiola, good header, won again by Yoshida. Juranovic plays it back to the edge of the box. Maya is able to lay this off to Brozovic. Brozovic dummies the first-time cross, plays it to Maya. Maya, corner of the Japanese penalty area. Again, thought about the delivery into the box. Left.
I appreciate the views, everyone.
Closed down quickly. Great tackle.
Looks like it's going to be going penalty shootouts for the first time in this World Cup.
Guardiola wins it. To the last 2.5 minutes of the game. Japan 1, Croatia 1. Brozovic. This time the ball does go into the box. Headed away by, of course, Yoshida. Chested down by Ito. Have to be careful with that one. Tomiyasu clears on the half volley. Out for a throw into Croatia.
Penalties, it's looking like.
I was just going to say, it's not that Croatia's done this on purpose. They played for the penalties. It's just the way the game is developed. And of course, the longer you go in the game, you're not taking any risks. You're not taking chances, putting people forward. But
here, yeah, 2 minutes to go. That's Vlasic who chests it down. Barisic on the supporting run. Cross comes in. Ball drops inside the Japan box. Mitoma leans forward, heads it away. Asano flicks it on up to the halfway line. Guardiola is there, nods it down to Lovren. Lovren right on the centre circle. Plays the ball into midfield. Vlasic across to Brozovic. Brozovic first time. Spins it out to the right. Juranovic's got so much time here to make this cross. I think he's over hit that to the far post. No, not it down. Vlasic is there. Takes a touch on the edge of the box. Onto his right foot. Lays it back to Barisic. Another cross comes in. That's closed down by Tanaka. Tanaka's gone down. It's hit him in the head. Ball's gone out for a throw into Croatia. The game will stop.
Juranovic had so much time on the ball and then he delivered such a deep cross. He should have put it right in front of goal, in between the goalkeeper and the defender. He had time to do that. There was no pressure on him. I think that was an opportunity that.
I appreciate the views, everyone. Love for that.
Tanaka's in some trouble at the moment. Medical team coming on. I think one of his teammates there was actually encouraging to get up before the medical team came on so that he wouldn't have to go off the field because Croatia have a throw late on in this game. We're into the last minute plus a bit of added time. Does he have to go off?
So yeah, he's walking off, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. You're right. Tanaka off. Throwing Croatia, attacking position on the left. Japan had their hearts broken by Belgium very late on in the last 16 in Rostov 4 years ago. Is it going to happen again, or are we heading to penalties? Guardiola chips the ball out to the left-hand side. Barisic tries to use what last strength he has to get across in. It's gone miles up in the air. Mitoma underneath it. Chests it down. Under pressure here in the left-back position. Clears on the turn. 10 seconds remaining, then we're into added time. Japan 1, Croatia 1. 5 live on BBC Sounds. 1 minute. 1 minute of added time. 1 minute away from penalties. Can Croatia fashion a late chance? Brozovic trying to get that ball out to the left. It could come now. Sakai trying to do the defending. Couldn't make the challenge. Shot comes in. Great block.
Looks like it's going to be going penalty shootouts, man.
Japan counter. No, they've given the ball away. Vlasic wins it back for Croatia. Could be important. Into the box. Maya shoots wide. That was the chance. That is why I think we're heading to penalties.
You don't get a bigger opportunity than that. I mean, the Japanese defense is all over the place. And you get a clear shot from 18 yards, right from the middle of the goal. You can place it, you can hit it hard.
It's 1-1, it's going penalties.
What an opportunity to win the game and send his team into the quarterfinals.
Drag the shot wide. 1 minute of added time is up. So now at the referee's discretion, He looks at his watch. Again, one thing we'll be watching for in the penalty shootout, of course, is goalkeepers coming off the line, like Hugo Lloris with the initial penalty save against Lewandowski. And the full-time whistle blows. End of the second period of extra time. Japan won. Croatia won. Late chance there, Kelly, for Lovro Meyer. He couldn't take it, so we will have our first penalty shootout at this World Cup. 1-1.
Peter, there was a late chance for Croatia, but the way that extra time so often plays out is that teams become frightened to lose the game rather than playing to win. And there were a couple of shots on goal, but at that stage the players were just being ultra cautious.
Yeah, I mean, I think in football you have to invest to score goals. So you have to invest in terms of putting people forward. You have to challenge. And I think both teams, especially in extra time, played it safe. So instead of maybe passing that ball into what could be an opportunity, they turned around and passed it backwards. But I really do feel that Croatia had the opportunity to take this game by the scruff of its neck and just go away with it. They didn't. They found something when they scored. They found something that was a little bit of a weakness in the Japanese defense, and they never followed it up. And they had the ball for a long time and never really created anything. And the chance right at the end here came off mistakes by Japanese players. And oh my God, you get an opportunity like that. I wonder if Maya's going to take a penalty. You know, is that going to play on his mind?
Kelly, John Southwell, our producer's just passed me an interesting stat. The team going second in World Cup penalty shootouts has won the last 6. So in the last 6 World Cup penalty shootouts, the team going second has won them.
Yeah, that's something to look out for once we see who's going to go first in this one. But Peter, I was just on that point about knowing that is going to maybe be playing on his mind as he steps up to take that penalty. If you're in goal for a penalty shootout, is that what you're thinking? Are you thinking I might have one open in here?
Well, I very often have this conversation with people, and I find myself the odd one out because I had the ability to clear my mind. I also didn't want to have any kind of information from anyone about the penalty shooters because I always felt that a penalty shootout for a goalkeeper is a lottery. You don't have any control over nothing. You don't control over the angle, the run up, the timing, where he's going to place it, what pace, what height, nothing. So I always did that. Once we're in this period now, I don't know who's going to take the penalties. I've made my mind up now. I'm going to go left, right, left, or something.
Come on, who's going to win the penalties? Who's going to win penalties? Japan or Croatia? Hit the pole. Help the pole. Who's going to win?
Are away to our left-hand side. We're now spinning the coin again. I thought that's where we were heading for the penalties. Again, the referee chats to Maya Yoshida and to the captains Day and Lovren. Shakes hands with the pair of them. Players in the centre circle, and we're just about ready to go, Kelly.
Thank you very much for that. Just before we do get underway, we can have a quick word with Chris Sutton, who's at the 974 Stadium ahead of Brazil against South Korea, which is one that everybody's going to be interested in, particularly at the Al Janoub, because whoever wins this penalty shootout is going to be facing either Brazil or South Korea. Chris Sutton, the other thing to say is that your reputation as a predictions guru is on the line here. You went Japan, Croatia after 90, Japan after extra time, but okay, we could give you this one if Japan get through on penalties.
Yeah, I mean, my reputation is normally on the line, Kelly, anyway. But, it was too tight to call, really. I was thinking Japan on penalties, but then I went Japan in extra time. But let's see. Very exciting.
It is very exciting, as will be Brazil against South Korea. Chris Sutton and Ian Dennis will bring you that 7 o'clock kickoff at the 974 Stadium. A penalty shootout about to get underway at the Al Janoub between Japan and Croatia. Peter Schmeichel and Alex.
Who is going to win the game?
Referee chatting to both goalkeepers. Lovely moment between the pair of them as they both made their way towards that goal, away to our left-hand side. Loads and loads of Japanese fans behind it. Big hug between Dominik Levakovic and Shuichi Gonda. So the little stat was team going second has won the last 6 at the World Cup. In this shootout, that will be Croatia. They won both their penalty shootouts in Russia 4 years ago against Denmark, and then the host Russia. Japan have lost their only one in the World Cup.
Are Japan going to score? Are they going to get the first goal? Would they? Oh my days, he missed. He missed. What? Wait. Japan missed their first pen.
Yeah, it wasn't a great penalty. In all fairness, it wasn't a great penalty. It was only like sort of 2-3 yards from the centre of the goal, and kind of showed the goalkeeper where to go as well. So now Croatia just have to score on the 5 penalties they have now, and that's that.
Easier than
it's still going on.
Right, Japanese fans jeering, booing, whistling in the red and white checks of Croatia. It's Nikola Vlasic with his right foot. What a penalty! Powers it home. Gonda went the right way.
1-0 Croatia.
Lead 1-0.
That was a perfect penalty. What I think you have to do in these kind of situations as the taker, just pick your spot and then hit it with pace. And Vlasic, he did that now. Great penalty.
Peter Schmeichel has been here before, of course, in the national colours of Denmark at major tournaments. Mitoma, pressure on the Brighton winger, the number 9 for Japan. Straight over, that's safe as well.
They're finished. They're finished. Croatia going through.
The first one away to his left, and the second one low to
Come like Croatia going through still. Damn, man.
In real trouble.
Well, that was not a
damn, man. 2 penalty misses. And those are poor pens as well. Damn. Japan are going out. Damn, man.
Back into the pitch, not past the post.
Who's
that
this?
Was a really, really good save. And that's that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Could play out again. Big chance here for Marcelo Brozovic.
Game done. It's going to be game done. If these men miss this pen, it's finished. It's curtains.
And Croatia is stuck there 2 away.
And because you've reminded me of the penalty shootout against Denmark 4 years ago, in that penalty shootout, Denmark missed 3 penalties. Japan has missed 2 penalties now, so that could go pretty much the same way.
Asano, Takuma Asano is the next to take.
Japan have never reached the quarterfinals. And if they do, they're going to make history because they have to come back from 2 penalties down. They need their keeper, boy.
Comes towards the ball. Asano, good penalty. Kovacic this time goes the wrong way. And Japan
boy, oh boy.
They're still in it.
The standards that you're setting, the Kanovic in there, he should be saving that, shouldn't he? That's terrible not saving that. It was a good penalty, and it'll settle down the Japanese players a little bit. And also the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper will feel, as soon as that first one is saved, the goalkeeper will feel pressure. I need to save one. He doesn't need to save one. He needs to save 2 now.
Yeah, 2-1.
He has to save 2,
Croatia
fam.
Taken 2. Japan have taken 3. Chance here for Levaya. Short run at the ball. Oh,
he missed. Oh my days. Oh my days, they missed. It's 2-1.
Went the right way, and he might just have let Japan back into this.
Lifeline, but what a poor penalty. What an arrogant way to take a penalty. And you have a responsibility for your teammates, for your coach, for the staff, your fans, everyone backing there.
Why is looking
better than that. That was
looking
a little bit too arrogant for my liking.
So, Japan and Croatia have taken 3 penalties apiece, playing for a place in the quarterfinals. Croatia lead 2-1. Japanese skipper Maya Yoshida with his right foot.
Oh, it's game done.
Oh my God.
Kovacic low to his right.
Croatia has to score to go through.
Both arms in the air. He has saved 3 of Japan's 4 penalties, and now the chance for Mario Pasalic to step forward for Croatia and book them a place in the quarterfinals. Pasalic striding forward towards the penalty spot. What a performance from Dominik Livakovic. Yoshida can barely look up as he drags himself back to the
game
halfway
done still.
This is the moment. This for a place in the quarterfinals. Deep breath from Pasalic. Runs at the ball with his right foot. Buries it. And that is it. Japan have had a sensational World Cup, but they're out. Beaten on penalties by the finalists.
Croatia win 3-1 on pens.
They won 2 shootouts on their way to the done it again. So grateful to brilliant goalkeeping from Dominik Livakovic, and now the Croatian players in a giant group hug celebrate a quarter-final against either Brazil or South Korea, and the commiserations left to Japan in the centre circle. When it came to it, when it came to the crunch, Peter Schmeichel, they just didn't take very good penalties, Japan.
No, well, I have to say the first was a great penalty. The other two they missed were really, really good saves, and that's a big difference between that. So in a way, it was 1-1 and very poorly taken penalties. But
That's it. About Croatia. In Russia 4.5 years ago, they went behind in all three knockout games on the way to the final. The first to reach the World Cup final, having done so, but they did it every time. And they're doing it the same way again. It's Croatia, the jewel of the Adriatic, once again proving to be a little gem on football's world stage.
Well, that was the moment that mattered. Livakovic, the hero.
But Kovacic and the Croatian boy, them are through. Kovacic and the Croatian boys, them are through. Big up. Big up. Now, will we see another Chelsea man qualify for the quarterfinals when Thiago Silva's Brazil take on South Korea? I'm going to be doing that live stream in about an hour from now, so look out for that one still. But appreciate everyone who joined on this watch along so far. There's a lot as always. Graham, Drew, love for the comments and that. Biggie man up. But yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Kovacic and Croatia are through and on to the next round. That's time to find out who they play later today. So, you man, in a bit, catch you in an hour. Peace.
The guys who have been there and done it before know what it's like to be put under pressure in that situation, and they handled it so much better. You can tell that. I mean, it was